Hey, everybody. Happy Monday night. It's nice to be here with everyone today on this wonderful day, even if it's not so wonderful. So I'm here all by myself right now, and I just thought I would come by to talk about some stuff that, some stuff that's been happening in the news that, doesn't really affect a lot of people, but it affects some people. Eating all popcorn, maybe have a drink or two. Probably not any alcohol because I hear that's bad for you. You never know what can happen. But anyway, so I don't know if you guys know who Jeff is, Legal Vices. He was a LawTube streamer and a really nice guy. Lived in Korea, focused mainly on like maritime law and other stuff. He was on some Mercator streams for like Johnny Depp and stuff, and Kyle Rittenhouse, and then just got his way. Was around it with a bunch of different people, but he passed away unexpectedly yesterday, and it's kind of I was a mod on his stream, so I would go in his chat all the time, talk to people. So you'd think you know somebody a little bit just from talking to him online, and it's one of them things that it's kind of like, well, how did this happen? How did this guy pass away? He seemed healthy. He seemed fine, and this is Jeff. This was a post his son put out today about his dad. Said, God, I'm horrible with words. Last night, afternoon in Korea, I received the news of my father's passing from a heart attack. He was a wonderful father and friend. Everyone who knew him knows how silly and caring he was. I never expected this to happen so quickly, so soon, and to be honest, I do not know how to react. His intelligence, love, and strength will live on in every soul he's touched. I'll always remember the first with him, especially the recent first glass of whiskey and cigar shared while having deep conversations as father and son. And as two men, I will miss him dearly and always look back on the amazing 24 years I've shared with him. I will forever be grateful for the wonderful people I've got to meet through him, the 24 years of memories with him, and the advice and wisdom throughout the years. I'll miss you, Dad, my role model, the person I hope to be one day. Love you so much. So that was his son. And, I'll just say that Jeff was always tried to be funny with everything and never got personal, never got into any type of drama at all, never attacked people, stayed out of all the bullshit, whatever you want to call law tube rumors and shit that happened. He stayed completely out of that. So kudos to him for that. And, I don't know if you guys remember, almost a year, maybe, I don't know, 8-9 months ago, that bridge collapsed. And, there was all types of speculation about what happened. And he kind of was the voice of reason saying, no, this stuff happens. It's just very standard procedure and stuff. So Godspeed, Jeff. I hope, I don't know, maybe it makes you wonder, though, if it was possibly some kind of experimental treatment that he was forced to get for his work or something that possibly could have caused his heart to go out. I mean, I don't know if there's been any rumors or anything like that happening in the past. Very interesting. And in other news today, this was posted today. The Superman poster for the Superman movie that's coming out, and I think it looks really good. It gives off vibes of the old Superman, the Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve Superman. So who knows? In other news today, we had a shooting. And it seems that they're saying 15-year-old. I got a guest. Oh my God, I got a guest. It's Julio. Hey, Julio.
What's happening, Jim?
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. Oh, yeah, I saw this shit today. It's fucked up.
Did you know Legal Vices, Jeff?
What?
Legal Vices, Jeff, the guy who was the maritime lawyer who was...
Yeah.
He died.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he was, I guess he was going to get on an airplane or something and had a heart attack. He's only like in his 50s. He's like, I think he was 53, 54.
Well, I was having a nice positive day until that.
Well, yeah, I read a little thing at the beginning about him.
I'm sorry.
He was a good guy. Yeah, I mean, he was a really nice, he was a, whatchamacallit, raised a Mormon and all that stuff and went to Korea and I guess they go to Korea for some kind of outreach or some kind of missionary work.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And they ended up staying there, I guess. And then I don't know if he drinks and was drinking and smoking cigars, so I don't think he's all Mormon-y now, but
clearly not. He's drinking.
Yeah. But nice guy. I mean, he stayed out of any type of drama bullshit, didn't get involved in any of the stuff. Just focused
family, married, kids, or anything?
He has a son, I think is 24, and he was divorced. So there was a thing, there was this that his son posted. So
that was nice of his son. Sweet.
Yeah. Let people know. And then there was a bunch of other stuff. People that Megan Fox and like Russell Bailey and basically the whole, law tube,
Yeah.
put out, messages. I'm going to kill this dog. What do you want? Hold it down. Go lay down. So,
Well, that's too bad.
So anyway,
so what's with the? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jim.
I was going to say, did you stream last night?
Yeah, I was in a couple streams.
I don't remember. I think I streamed for a little while last night, and I don't know. I went to sleep, and I don't know what happened.
I heard. No, I don't know. I don't remember anything either. I mean, you get old, you forget stuff, right?
No. Well, normally, everybody on Monday nights, we do talk about a movie, a TV show. Sorry. Which we were doing Boardwalk Empire on Monday nights. Honestly, I don't know if that's going to continue. The show really doesn't lend itself to like covering like we were doing with Justified, where there's stuff to talk about. And
it's a bit of a slow burn at the beginning.
Yeah,
it takes a while to get rolling.
Even when it does get going, it's not really like it's like something you would need to do like maybe you'd have to do a whole season. Like a whole season, maybe like season one, and entire like an episode just season one. Talk about this important stuff in season one, and then go to season two. Because I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually thinking if you hadn't invited me on tonight, I was going to work on doing a Farscape thing on Rumble, like that kind of thing. Just not one episode at a time, but maybe a quarter of the season at one shot. Bigger chunks, little trivia tidbits. What's this actor been in before, or how this like stuff like that. So I may do that at one point.
Repetitive and revisions to narrative increase doesn't match up at all with what he ends with. What are we talking about, Dan? I don't know what you're. James Gunn. I'm sorry, zero faith in James Gunn. Okay, I thought he was talking about Farscape. So say, don't let Dave hear you say that.
Actually, that's a tie-in because James Gunn said that Farscape was a huge influence on Guardians of the Galaxy. See, I was doing some show prep today for my stream. So he was a huge Farscape fan. I saw the Superman poster. I thought it was all right. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I think the Superman poster. I think it's very reminiscent of like Donner.
Actually, you're right. Yep.
Like
it's fine.
If I didn't, if you squint, that could be Christopher Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he's not in a wheelchair, but
it's a very traditionally Superman look, like you said. It reminds me of it's got the look up at the bottom. I think it's fine.
Yeah. The arms are the right proportion, unlike Henry Cavill's, which were too short.
He's got alligator arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So what's with the school shooting? I saw a little bit. I heard it was a girl and a teacher and a student got killed.
Well, here. Right? We have the manifesto.
Shit, really?
Alleged manifesto. I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. This was, I don't know. But now I'm confused about the shooter because I thought they said it was a girl. What?
Nothing. Go ahead, Jim. I'm just reading through it and I hit a certain word.
I thought it was a girl, but changed her name to a boy's name. It went by they, them, non-binary or something. And I've heard reports that they were 17, not 15, but then other people are saying 15. I don't know. It was some weird stuff.
It was a Christian school, right, Jim? Wasn't it like a
it was a Christian school.
K through 12 Christian kind of thing?
Yeah. I know the the LGBT people, they don't like the Christians.
Wow, this is some alleged manifesto.
No, I don't know.
Sometimes
there's some bad words in here.
Like
I don't know if this is real or not. This is just
in my head canon. I'm telling myself it's real.
Once you know, you'll be proven guilty on all charges. You wish to be killed in a good way, not simple, painful. Revolution and population.
Good Lord.
Get it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I want to read this. I mean, I'm not going to read this myself online. I just
certainly
put it
not out loud. Yeah,
not out loud.
No.
But
No, that's a shame. I wonder if I'm sure they've scrubbed any social media she has. They usually do that, right?
Well, there was some stuff. Let's see if I can find it. There's this here. Just in, the Christian school shooters, a 15-year-old Natalie Ryn Rupnow, supposedly went by the name Sam, and supposedly wanted to kill all males. Thought women could repopulate the earth without men or something.
All right, good luck with that.
And then we had 2 Christian schools targeted within the span of 2 weeks. Christian school in Oroville, California, the shooter was reportedly neutralized and students were evacuated. 2 students were shot under conditions unknown. Please pray for students and staff.
So is she in custody now? I heard there were no shots fired by the police that went in there and rushed the school. I'm assuming they captured her.
Self-deletion, from what I understand.
Well,
and then this one, school shooting, Abundant Life Christian School, Madison, Wisconsin, multiple injuries reported. Please say a prayer for the staff and students. Multiple injuries. Media staging at the Quick Trip. So they're out there with Jay and Silent Bob at the Quick Trip.
Hanging out with the guy that sings Berserker, the big Russian guy. Olaf.
Yeah.
All right, so she offed herself, basically.
That's the story.
Wisconsin? Shit.
Yeah, Wisconsin. And of course we got more drones shit going on.
The big explanation for that I'm seeing online is what you were talking about last night. Everybody's on the radiation thing.
Well,
they're scanning for radiation.
That would be the only thing in my mind that the government would want to not say, like what they would completely want to shut the fuck up about and not talk about. Because they don't want to spook everybody. They don't want to cause major problems. So
well, are they thinking it's some sort of like leak? Why would they be looking for radiation?
Well, no, there's rumors that there was like some kind of nuclear stuff that went missing.
Oh.
Who knows? It could be a North Korean bomb. It could be an Iranian bomb. They could be trying to take Trump out before the inauguration.
That's what you were saying. It's like a trial run to test.
Yeah. You put your tinfoil hat on and you go, well, gee, what would happen if somehow something happened and all the people that were at the inauguration got wiped out? Who's left? Kamala Harris? AOC?
President Janet Yellen?
Yeah.
Right.
It would be, like Kamala Harris would be the president, because if Biden's there.
Well, we'll see. It's even the from what I've read, like the mayors and the government in New Jersey, some of them are like, I don't fucking know what's going on. They're as clueless as everybody else. Can't they shoot him?
Well, they were saying not to shoot him. Don't shoot him because dangerous stuff is inside of him. Well, that explanation makes sense if they have detectors for radiation that has cesium in it. The detectors, which is dangerous. You don't want that exposed. Like Geiger counters all have cesium in them, which is radioactive.
If it was a bad actor, if I can borrow a term from the Rippaverse, is this packed with some sort of explosive? Wouldn't they just send the drones into the ground and blow up?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think these drones. I think the government knows exactly whose drones these are.
Well, hypothetically, if these drones are surrounding the inauguration, they're getting shot down. That's not happening, right?
Well, no, but it's like they look like they're looking for something.
It's weird that nobody knows what the fuck is.
Well, somebody knows.
Yeah, somebody's controlling. Yeah,
they're just not telling us.
Somebody's doing the droning.
So let's see. I mean, we got the the voice of our generation, the guy who's fucking knows everything. So let's see what he has to say.
Is it Cynic? No.
Ditched me tonight, I think.
Oh, sweet. Alex Jones. Awesome.
That's not a plane.
That's no moon.
A space station.
It almost looks like they're coming from above the clouds down versus from the ground up.
Now this, I've actually seen stuff like that before that freaked me out, like these lights doing this. And it was actually, I figured out what it was. There were high tension power lines, and there was cars going over a hill. When the cars would go over the hill, the lights would hit the power lines and follow the power lines. So you'd see them trace like that. Dude, it was freaky.
So are these pictures or videos from New Jersey, or is he just doing like B-roll footage from various?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dan Blackroyd says they're tracking Bigfoots.
Well, nobody thought of that. Yeah.
Could be the Anunnaki or, Nephilim. Could be.
Chupacabra coming across the border.
Definitely.
Our all-time best-selling supplement is finally back in stock at drjones.com.
Dr. Jones?
Mineral Fusion.
Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones. Isn't that Chinese kid from the second Indiana?
No, Dr. Jones. I want to die.
But it was a short round. Was a little kid.
No.
Is Elon Musk saving his network? Is that what I've heard? He's trying to swoop in and
he tried, I think, did something, but then they fucked around with the auction. So who knows what's going to happen now? We'll see.
He looks like he's aged
to everything. Yeah, he does. He's starting to look like a globalist.
Yeah,
head and all that.
Looks like he's lost 50 pounds, something like that.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we're not doing an ad for you, Alex. Sorry.
Concentrates of superfoods, super herbs in it. This was listeners used in stock. Some of these names are hard. Some of the ingredients. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Absorption. So thank you for and the folks that haven't tried it.
Using ingredients in vitamin mineral fusion, now available as is known as thiamine for immune function and protein metabolism, folate formation, teeth.
I mean, I don't know. I could use a few pounds to be honest. Maybe
gut health aids
Alex Jones
by getting vitamin mineral fusion. It worked.
It's a fucking ad. The whole thing was an ad.
Oh, that's the whole video.
Alex.
Well, that didn't go well.
Yeah. You know.
Joe Biden did something today I actually agree with. He made the work from home policy, kind of ironclad moving forward. I'm not a fan of Elon Musk saying that, people shouldn't work from home. They don't get anything done. I'm not big on that. I think it's backwards thinking.
Well, they want him to they want the people to come in because they want to get rid of them. So they want, like the whole work from home. How do you know if they're doing anything?
I guess it depends on what kind of job. Like I work from home.
Yeah, but
my
client, for the government.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, my client makes money. That's all my boss gives a shit about. As long as that's happening, I'm good.
Why are we paying for all these? Why are we paying for all these buildings in DC?
Well, it's always been my thought is you can go in and fire randomly half the government workers and it would make no difference, but then you'd have a lot of unemployed, talentless people roaming the streets. It's almost like a daycare where you put them to keep them out of trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so here's this is another thing. Aussie Overlord posted about Jeff saying, it's been over an hour and the manly tears of manliness haven't stopped rolling. I can't think of the things we won't get to finish. The cigars unsmoked, the whiskey undrank, the jokes untold, the Lego, the trip to Scotland, LFL mock-up, and coming to visit you.
The booze and the smoking will catch up with you at some point. Generally speaking,
I don't think he was that old though. Like I'm saying, like I don't know. I mean, I know
he was our age, right, Jim?
Yeah,
pretty much.
I think he was like 53, 54.
I was younger. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was definitely younger than Dave.
Hmm.
And then this guy posted this video. Jeff was a real stand-up dude. Never bashed anyone or debased himself by crawling into the YouTube drama gutter. He was always informative and jolly. He was the voice of reason when that bridge collapsed, and he will be missed. We will not forget his smile.
That's a very thoughtful post, whoever posted that.
Yeah, that guy, he posts stuff. Sometimes he posts stuff. Yeah. Sometimes he's all right. Other times he's an asshole. Well, is everybody younger than Dave? Really?
We did determine I'm 3 weeks younger than Dave. So he is the old man in the
they're watermarking the school shooter's childhood photos. That's odd.
Who? I never like when people say they. Say who they are.
Generally, when they say they, they're implying a certain group of people that wear small hats.
Well, I don't want to blame the Shriners out of pocket, but it's fair.
Oh, Kumia.
God bless him. You've hung out with him before. Yeah,
he's a good guy. He's all right. But I think he's beyond the point of giving a fuck.
Yeah, you're right. He's like, I'm going to play video games. I'm going to date young girls and drink. Yeah. What do you think of that? Yeah, I played blackjack with him. He was a fucking riot sitting next to him. He's always on, though. Well, at least in my experience. Like what you hear on his show is exactly what you get sitting next to him at a blackjack table.
Okay, this scares me. This Chuck Schumer. Democrats have spent weeks working with Republicans on crafting a strong bill that will keep the government open while providing much-needed disaster relief. To me, that sounds like a bad idea. Working with each other just to fuck us over.
Speaking of little hats.
Yeah. Anyway, and here's Biden who's talking that you were talking about, which would prevent Elon Musk and Ramaswamy from ordering them back to office full time. Problem being, though, that this deal that he signed, it's not a deal. That it's nothing. It wasn't approved by Congress, so Trump could just come in and go, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, but I mean, well, you may disagree. From what I understand, you used to be an electrician. If you don't mind me sharing that, I think you said that, right? You got to be there to do that. You can't do that from home. But there's some things you can do from home. Your company saves money on overhead, and it makes
the janitors work from home. How the fuck does a janitor work from home?
All right, so let's say you bring these 42,000 people back in the office, and half of them say, "I can't afford the fucking gas." They're going to get paid by the government anyway. They're just going to be on unemployment and Medicaid and food stamps.
So we fire them all. Everyone, the entire government. I would go in and fire everyone. I would walk up with a chain with some locks, and I would just chain the doors shut of like the Hoover building. Shut it. You're done. Go up to the Dirksen building. Shut it.
What would be the fallout from that? Like, what would happen to? I mean, I know the obvious thing is who gives a shit, but I mean, you're going to have tens of thousands of unemployed ex-government workers with no skills.
It would suck to be in Virginia.
No kidding.
Because that would totally put a hamper on Virginia's economy. But you know what? Government jobs are not. They're not. It's not. I mean, it's not supposed to be this. Oh, I got a government job. I'll never get laid off. I'll never get this. I never. No, no.
I can't imagine spending, 40 years of your life working in one government job. I mean, I would get bored at some point. You want to do something else, right? You want to achieve something different. But I guess people just go in, follow their nails. Apparently, they're watching porn when they're at home. God forbid anybody watches porn during their work hours.
Now, there is another thing too that. Here's a good one.
Do we have an N scale update from your boy?
We have an update here. This is some minor update about some stuff.
Since it appears about 75 million people saw articles or social media posts about the recent super flare story, and since virtually none of them were adequate communications of relevant science to the public, let's go over this here, starting with the super flare and what it is. These are hundreds to thousands of times stronger than most of the sun's normal solar flares, but they erupt by similar mechanisms, colliding magnetic fields above a sunspot. Modern-day solar storms can and have taken satellites, transformers, power grids, networks, infrastructure, and more, but in a super flare, the blast is so dramatic that the electromagnetic impact to Earth is massive and global. A solar storm concern in general is the fact that these solar storms deliver an electromagnetic shock wave to our planet, and they induce electric currents and unusual magnetic effects. And it is well recognized that a big solar storm, certainly one that would come from a super flare, would destroy all the power grids, electrical devices, and even electrical wires. The United States government study a few years ago said that 90% of humans could die due to the lack of infrastructure, from water purification and distribution to food cultivation, communication and travel, heating and banks and gasoline and 911 and the internet, etc. If you remember the movie GoldenEye, it's not a bad visual of how severe the electromagnetic pulse can be. Everything electrical is destroyed, and it is well known that it wouldn't even take a super flare to cause this worldwide. So, a super flare would be a very unwelcome thing for our sun to throw our way. It would mean the complete loss of the modern world, needing to be rebuilt. It would take decades, but in the meantime, the starvation, thirst, suffering, and destabilization would be unimaginable. It is also noteworthy that severe solar-driven electrical disasters preceded technology, as many scientists, including Dr. Robert Schoch, have shown, where the overcharging and magnetospheric compression by the shockwave juices up the lowest L-shell magnetic fields. It's creating the same situation that we see on a magnetar, where the downward discharge occurs and blasts the surface. A lightning.
Have you ever seen a magnetard?
I know what they are. I've never seen one.
Oh, well, I've ran into a few. Got to be careful.
Never relax. You got to reach out to this guy, Jim, and have him on your
So now
channel.
the important question is this.
Oh, I'd love to have the guy on, but I think I think he's way too big for me.
I think he'd be interested in speaking with anybody who's interested in what he's doing. Is mine. Okay. I mean, you got to take a swing at it, right?
Yeah,
I would.
Something to know about for our future or not? Well, this new study is suggesting that sun-like stars produce these events every century. Now, that's a very scary thought, but it also can't be placed one-to-one right onto our sun. They didn't find all sun-like stars blasting super flares every century, but rather there's a range. Some of them blasted far more often and others far less often. While this doesn't overrule the sun-specific studies that do this, it does reconfirm the fact that the sun has these flares. And so let's go to the most widely cited solar superflare analysis to answer the question of when is the next one coming? The lowest level super flares likely happen every 150 to 200 years. Those would take out global power like we showed at first. The biggest ones happen every 3,000 to 6,000 years in the X500 to X1000 range, and those are what would cause that lightning of the gods from the sky. The lowest.
Oh, hey, look who finally showed up.
What
What's happening, Cynic?
Sexuals and heterosexuals.
Do you agree with me, Cynic, that Dave needs to reach out to the solar flare guy and ask him if he wants to come on Jim's channel one of these nights? That'd be fucking awesome.
If he doesn't want to, I will. Somehow people just want to come on when I offer him to come on the show. So
yeah, sometimes people are like, sure, I'll fucking come on and chat. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, congratulations, Julio, by the way, what we talked about earlier. Congrats, brother.
I've been exhaling for the past 12 hours. It's been a good day. No, I'm serious. It's been a good day.
Oh, court went well?
Yeah. Well, actually, I sent an appeal in hoping they would agree to my appeal, and they actually did me one better and made my appeal even better than I wrote it. So
fuck yeah, dude.
I've got 1.5 months left, and then I am
free and clear.
Back in, it's. Thank you for. Appreciate the prayers. They help.
Yeah, of course, man.
Always good when the good guys win.
Yeah, it was nice. Anyways, enough about me. But thanks, Cynic and Jim.
Yeah, of course, brother.
This level still means the end of our modern world and a new age of Earth, and those happen every 150 to 200 years. We are 165 years from the last one in 1859. So yes, this matters a great deal, and it's why they've spent hundreds of millions on sun-watching satellites and telescopes to hopefully give them advanced warning of these solar storms. Subscribe for daily updates. We'll see you in the morning for the daily show. Be safe, everyone.
So hypothetically, if you had him on, Jim, what types of things would you ask? I mean, I'd love to be on that show. I wouldn't roast him or nothing because I don't know anything about this.
I don't know what I would ask him. I would be like,
what's your favorite cereal?
Yeah. What do you want? What are you going to bring? What should I bring to the potluck?
Yeah. Well, that's what. First, you'd have to name 5 cereals.
Yeah.
5 breakfast cereals.
Yeah. As we verbally punch him in the arm.
Now maybe I don't know. You'd have to get a tattoo.
Yeah. Jim made me get a tattoo.
Really? Shit.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get the memo. Is that an ARA tattoo? I'm not involved in that stuff.
This is the daily update. That was a special.
Good morning, folks.
Oh,
Today we're going to hit several space weather items. We'll look at an incredible study on biological rhythms and light, electromagnetism, and water. And we've got a new discovery from inside the Earth that may be a sign of macro changes below. We're starting with the last 24 hours on our star where things were mostly quiet. We're still seeing sporadic M-class solar flares, none firing plasma our way. The plasma filaments are either stable or dancing without ejection. The only significant eruption on the sun the last day came from just behind the limb on the far side. You see the expanding shockwave signature there from behind the visible limb. This one is not aimed at us, but the eruption zone is turning in this week. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of active regions now. Largest sunspot group begins to depart. These are morphing around, some growing, some in decay. We'll be eager to see what's incoming next as well. Folks, we've got an excellent study up first in the links today. This one hits the impact of light, electromagnetism, and water on biological rhythms. It's a great paper for either review or an introduction to these topics, especially since I'd say it elucidates the activity vectors of some of the dozens of correlations discovered between light energy, particle energy, magnetic fields, and human health. Lastly, today we see an interesting announcement about a brand new viscosity shift layer beneath our feet. They knew of many, some shallow, some deep, but this new one is at a previously unknown location for these kinds of shifts. The new one, about 1,200 kilometers deep, is added to the LVZ 100 kilometers down, the transition zones of the mantle at 410 and 660 kilometers down, and then the one really deep at the core mantle boundary zone. The rub comes when you realize how well seismic wave analysis tells us what is below. We have used them to intimately understand significant structures in the mantle for many years, and yet, what? They didn't see this massive global viscosity shift layer? I'm a little skeptical, dare I say, suspicious. And it actually makes me wonder if this new layer isn't just newly discovered, but it's actually new. A major internal dynamic shift going along with all the others here on Earth and throughout the solar system. Is this the big shift inside beginning now? Folks, this afternoon, the next issue of Observer Review comes out. It's a great volume this month with several key science studies and the context. Link to sign up is below. It is the best way to support the Observers and to keep up with everything happening every month. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll do this all again tomorrow.
You should do
right now at 6 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open,
offer
no feet.
Offer alternate
safe,
covers to
everyone.
his magazine. Might make more money.
Yeah.
I was laughing, had myself muted. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm just spitballing, but my favorite thing that you've been showing these solar flare videos for months, and my favorite bit was when he was complaining that NASA wasn't responding to his daily actually letters. I thought that was
My
cute.
favorut bit was his birthday.
That's true.
I really got sad when he quit mentioning it like 3 weeks before. I was like, oh man.
But yeah. He's like, dear NASA.
Chris says, no Dave tonight? No.
I think Dave was feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back tomorrow.
He's got the
flu. Yeah, he's got the flu or something.
Yeah.
Sitting, how did CG Church go? I saw, or not CG Church, but you streamed earlier with Katie and the crew,
King
right?
stream. It was the King stream. Yeah. It was good, man. We actually had a good bit at the end. Fucking Ruby was trying to pitch like what he would do with the ISOM story, and I just started making jokes like I was Eric July and just pitching ideas about how I could get Ruby into the book, and he kept turning me down. And I was like, well, come on there, Mr. Ruby Kane. What if I let you have sexual relations with the ugly Saska sister?
Well, hello there.
It was so fucking great, man.
Sometimes those kids, they're kids, those guys, like Jessica.
Well, we're all they're all
sometimes
like 31 and 33.
All right. I'm just concerned sometimes that the roasting and the banter kind of goes, you know what I mean?
Too far?
No. Just like they don't like defensive, I would say.
Oh,
like
okay,
we're just fucking around and busting balls here. That's
none of them care. None of them really care. Like Jesker, I mean, you saw what Jesker did last night, even after the whole like everybody dogpiled him about his politics.
We have a very special guest.
Oh.
Making his debut appearance on the gym stream.
If it's not the solar flare guy, I'm going to be disappointed. So
it's Drex.
Holy shit!
Oh, what's happening, Drex?
Drex used to follow me on my other account until it got suspended.
Oh man, yeah, join the fucking party, man.
This thing is all. God damn, that audio setup is good, Drex. You sound like fucking Barry White, Howard Stern.
Yeah, it's so. Here's the thing: it sounds good to you. It echoes for me, so it sounds awful. Yeah, I got to figure that out at some point.
Oh, you know what?
Hope you guys have been healthy, man, because everybody's been having colds. I don't know if you guys got that same cold that everyone got.
Well,
yeah, no.
I didn't take any shots or anything, so I.
Yeah,
I'm fully vaccinated, so I'm healthy as a horse.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I bet you are.
Hard living, brother.
Oh, so yeah, rough news about Jeff.
Unreal.
Yes, sad as shit, man. I saw it this morning.
Yeah, people hit you with that, and it's crazy because I checked my WhatsApp, and I had just talked to him right before Thanksgiving, and I'm like, you know, when someone says something and you have like that quick moment where like, did you get the story right? You know what I mean? You're like, nah, you guys. Yeah, it can't be real because I just talked to the guy, and I mean he's fairly active on on social media. So I'm like, nah, someone got it wrong. And then you look and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucked.
I just saw him stream like 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
That's what I'm saying.
And he seemed fine. He said he was going to get on a plane. He was going somewhere.
Yeah. You know this guy,
right?
heart failure reminds me of the Kevin Samuels thing. Like, you know, he was always making streams, and Kevin Samuels got really big. And it's kind of similar to that, where Jeff was doing streams, he was traveling, you see him in pictures with Andrew, other people over in South Korea. And then, like you said, just boom, done. And you're like, he seemed healthy to me.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to show a lot about health, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, it's wild. I saw it this morning. I was like, damn, man, that's heartbreaking. As I love watching this stuff. But
yeah, it was always a good time. Obviously, I was a guest on the show quite a few times. I talked to Jim. I met him in person too at Matt Surrey.
Yeah.
And you don't think it. Like, you guys ever realize
he's not
we're
that,
at that weird age? Because he's not that old. Yeah.
He wasn't. I think, was he 55, 54?
Yeah, that's about right. Was he even 55?
He might not even have been that old. Honestly, he might have only been 52, 53.
Yeah, 50. I want to say 52 or 53.
Because his son was only, what, 24?
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Damn.
That's a nice, what his son posted was very nice. It's like, if I dropped dead, I'd be happy if my son posted this type of thing for me.
Yeah.
So Drex, you said you stream with him. I apologize. I'm not familiar with you. Are you involved in the legal?
No,
I don't. Well, I mean, whatever side you're involved
by
in,
osmosis.
I'm not judging.
Yeah, by osmosis, Jim.
By osmosis.
All right, never mind. I'll take my question back. Sorry.
No, it's all good. My introduction to the whole legal space was, of course, doing so many shows with Nick. And then, of course, that fucker went and spiraled out of control, whatever's going on in that world. And that was like the crash out of 2024. Yeah, so I met Jeff through there because I remember I had done shows, and I remember Nick saying, like, oh, hey, there's this guy who wants to do shows with you. And, he's an expat because he knows how big I am with the whole Passport Bros things, which I know Jim would be doing if he didn't have a grandkid. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that you kind of know their personality. And you're like, if there wasn't an anchor, they'd be gone. Yeah. And so we start talking, and I didn't realize he had lived in South Korea that long. And it's like, damn. And yeah, he was just always an affable guy. And like, you start to realize, like, it really is that short, right? I mean, you guys think about it. Like, we're streaming here. This could have been a stream where Jeff was here, we're talking, and then imagine us getting the news the next day, right?
Yeah, that
is because like a car crash or something is something more like a little more unnatural, right? You know what I'm saying? Not, yes, a third party or something kind of came in.
Yeah. You think, thank God that didn't happen to me, and then you think, why it didn't happen to me?
Yeah, but heart failure like this is just like it's like an aneurysm or something, like just a switch goes and you go, what the fuck, man? How did they not catch it? Right?
When I was an IT director back when I was 30, I worked with a guy, he was 24 and he went to the airport. He was taking a flight to Denver and he got an aneurysm, 24. And the next day I came in and my boss is like, I'm like, where's Dan at? The guy's name was Dan. And he goes, oh, he's not here anymore. And I meant, oh, what, did we fire him? And he goes, no. And then he told me the story and I was flipped out. The kid was 25, 24. It's wild. Like you're saying, Drex. I mean,
that's scary, man.
Thankful every day.
I mean, I had a stroke.
At least if you make it to 50s, you got to live some life.
Yeah. I had a stroke at 23, literally walking out of my aunt's house.
Oh shit.
And, shit.
I sat in my car and it felt like somebody turned a light switch off. And I looked over at my wife, and I was like, I was saying
wife?
something. Yeah, I was married.
Story's already bullshit.
I got married at 23. So I looked over at her, and I said, in my head, everything was coming out fine. And I told her something's wrong. And she said it came out like I was talking with marbles in my mouth. She couldn't understand me.
Oh. Cynic, I swear to Christ. Go ahead.
It was 3, what do they call them? TIAs, the mini strokes. Mm-hmm. And it was from, because I was drinking like fuck tons of energy drinks, like Red Bull and vodka.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He was like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Similar situation when I was about 30 is I started feeling funny and dizzy and things weren't making sense. And my wife asked me, read me the book you're reading out loud. And it was coming out like backwards, she said. Like it was aphasia.
The hell?
So I went to the hospital and it wound up being anxiety attacks, like Tony Soprano stuff. They did all the put my head in the thing and they're like, no, you're good. You're just it was weird.
I said that
too much gabagool, right?
Damn.
I said that just to say, like, you don't know, man. Like that shit. It literally. I sat down in my car. I remember it like it was yesterday. Just I could have been gone if somebody.
Well, no, you don't know. I mean, look at all the we've been having people on track and stuff, and high school and college, all just dropping, and
football players, high school and college,
yeah, you know, professionals and baseball. You know, you saw that one comedian lady was talking just
fucking fell out
just now, just the other day. That Andrew Brushewitz, the guy Andrew Brushewitz, whatever his name is. Let me find it. He just was talking at some event and just fucking fell the whole.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know if I think he had.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, he's like he's a right wing type of guy. I think Andrew.
I was getting blown up the whole Madison, Wisconsin thing.
Yeah, this is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
I mean, can you guys believe just how much younger and younger it's getting?
It's insanity, right?
Like, I don't understand. Like this is
that's a pretty heavy statement, Trex. I mean, how much younger it's getting.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you're 15, I want you guys to remember being 15.
Oh, I do.
I mean, seriously, think about it.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Like think about what kind of stuff was on your mind at 15, right? You know, going to the mall, getting to school on time, you know, girls,
sports. That's it.
You know, you really didn't have much going on. You may have felt that you had a lot going on, but you know, looking back, you're like, my life really wasn't that. I mean, hell, awesome. I remember being able to. I remember at 15, that would have been 98. I remember the biggest things I looked forward to was Resident Evil 2 was in February, and then the fall was Metal Gear Solid, and then Zelda. That was my 1998. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. You know, my favorite games are coming. To think that like a lot of people that I grew up with were about sports, games, girls, you know, whatever hobbies they had, to go from like that mentality of the 90s to now kids are like, I hate everything and everybody and people need to be deleted. Like, damn.
Yeah, this just happened yesterday. This guy's young. He's in his 20s, I'd say.
Jesus. He looks like Arnold Rothstein from Boardwalk Empire.
But you know, so
a little bit.
Oh no, what I do? I'm forgetting my words. But share impeachment.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus. Did he die?
No, he's in the hospital.
Oh,
I was about to ask, is he dead? Damn.
No, he's in the hospital. It had to have been like a stroke or something. But this is I'll fuck it. This is from that shot. This is the shot, man. This is what it did.
Yeah.
Young. He looked healthy. I mean, he wasn't big or nothing, right? He looked like he was in shape.
Oh, here it is. He says, "We are back. What a surreal experience. Maybe I took my Joe Biden impression a little too far."
That's funny. I like that.
New York Presbyterian Hospital, EMTs, nurses. I was secondly incredible, thankful. Everyone who prayed sent me thoughts of blessing. Sorry for ruining your introduction.
Kid's got a sense of humor. I appreciate it. Like a little gallows humor. It's good.
Yeah.
Like this
it's unreal.
Like this whole thing with like just random people having random strokes. You know, it just feels like we're under attack.
Mm. Did this just happen recently?
That happened last night.
Shit.
That happened last night. So he's a decent. He says he works for a Trump campaign advisor, some X Strategies LLC. fuck is this?
I would check his drinks.
Check his what, Andrew?
His drink. Well, no, the way he said the way his speech was like that, where he was slurring a little bit, and then he said, "I forgot my words," where he can't remember, and then he just went. That was like a stroke. I mean,
that was definitely a stroke. Yeah, that's what happened to me. Like literally.
So was that crystal clear in his mind then, from what you said that happened to you, where like you're saying the words and they sound right in your head, right? When he's like,
I can tell by the way,
words, and
I can tell by the way my wife was looking. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking. I'm sorry, Cynic. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
The way it happened with me was, something's wrong, but it's sort of like you're having an out of body experience, right? I went to go. So when I was doing that, I went to go. When I knew I was fucked up, I went to go put my hand on the steering wheel, and it just fell off.
Oh, like limp?
Right?
You mean like limp? Like
It
it just kind of was like,
yeah, my whole right side is where it affected me. So it hit me 3 times in the back of the left side of my brain. And that's when I went, oh, shit. And she was like, well, what'd you say? She just could not make out what I was saying whatsoever.
So did you black out?
No, I was there. It was sort of like it felt like a dream experience, man. Like it was like an out of body, in body experience. Does that make sense?
See, my experience, Cynic, was exactly the same. Yeah. When I was trying to speak and my wife looked at me and she's like, the fuck? I'm calling an ambulance. And I'm like, but for me, it was apparently anxiety. My tests were all good.
Yeah.
But anxiety attacks and strokes, it's the same symptoms. Your arm goes numb. I used to drive home from work like 2 hours, and when I'd have it, it was almost like Tony Soprano. There's a couple of times I had to swerve off and get to the hospital and kind of stumble in. And they're checking me out, and they're like, you're fine.
The thing about it is, like, you know something's wrong, but it feels sort of like you're floating inside your own head. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you medications for that? Like, what do they do to combat that?
So they kept me in the hospital for 3 days, and like I said, they the only thing they could think of was the way I was drinking, like when I was going out on the weekends, and stress levels. And then after that, they put me on a blood thinner, and then they transitioned me to just baby aspirin every day. And then, of course, like, the normal
stress will fuck you up in ways.
Yeah, I mean,
stress will fuck you up. The symptoms can be weird. You think it's.
I was working for AT&T corporate. Our union was like about to strike. I just got married. Right, like all this stuff was going on, and I was like, it was crazy, man. It was like somebody flipped the light switch. It was insane.
I haven't had any experiences like that, but I think I've had like some sort of like panic attack where I would just be lying on my bed and just out of nowhere, like my body is, just feels like they just feel like something bad is coming.
Yeah, that's anxiety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But see,
that was like when I was like in Ball State, So but my diet has not been like the very best at that time either. So that probably contributed to that.
Yeah. Diet.
Is that the same thing that happens with the stuttering? I've heard that people who stutter, if you like put the headphones on them, I remember watching the King's Speech, and I heard that is very accurate. Like, if people who stutter put on headphones or whatever, right, and they can't hear themselves, and then you say, "Okay, read that book," they don't stutter. So I was like, "What causes stuttering then?"
It must be like I think exactly. I think you're right.
I have a stuttering problem, but I think it's because my brain is working faster than my mouth. So so I think that's what so I think that's what it is. That like my brain is is outpacing my my mouth.
Well, let me ask you something, Andrew. Have you ever sang in like church or something like that? Because I know a lot of people who stutter when they sing, the stutter goes away.
Yeah, there's a band that I listen to. One of the singers has a stutter, and when he sings, he has no stutter. Like
like I do, like I get my card. When I listen to music, when I sing along,
show tunes.
Show tunes.
Start spreading the news. I'm drawing today.
Yeah, but like I never have like a stuttering problem, when I sing along.
Yeah.
To my favorite music songs.
Because you don't have to think about it; it's automatic because you know the lyrics.
Yeah.
That makes.
Is this the guy's channel, Jim?
This is Legal Vice's channel. Anyone watching, if you haven't subscribed to Legal Vice's channel, please go subscribe to his channel. We'd like to see it get to 100,000 so that he can posthumously get a play button from YouTube.
That would actually be really cool. In all honesty, that would be cool as shit.
Yeah,
but
he was a great guy, really. I mean, he was.
I love that stream that Drex and who else didn't Legal Vices, you and him do a stream together for a little while?
We've done streams. I think I was
I thought you were trying to do a series and then y'all quit.
You would do. I thought you would do streams with him and Flux, right?
Yeah, Flux.
Okay,
I came on with Andrew with Legal Mindsets. Like
Legal Mindset.
I would come on fucking Friday. Like we've been on numerous times.
Yeah,
it's still surreal to me. Like when you get news. I mean, you think about the kind of news that you guys get throughout your life, and sometimes it's kind of like easily digestible. You can process it. Yeah. And other times because it's just the way you got it. Like I don't know, like something about it just feels surreal to me. Like, I was going through my day. This is my one day off. We're getting ready for the holidays. So we're getting all that stuff. And, my daughter just went back to her mom and I'm just like, oh yeah, I got this stuff to do. And you have like that one lazy day, you know what I'm saying? You're busy all week and you're like, I just want to like kind of, So when I got that news, I was like, it's almost like, did I read that right? And I think, something's off. I think somebody must have gotten the wrong info and then it was confirmed. So that's why I said it's like you just have that moment where you're like, that doesn't make sense. So there's not like the when people talk about they have like a heavy heart and stuff. I don't have a heavy heart because it still isn't real to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it hasn't really sunk in. Like
I know exactly.
You gotta you gotta kind of. It takes time to get your head together around that stuff and something.
There's a lot of people that are going through some stuff right now because of it. Like Danny Ann, right?
Yep.
Like she just was out to see him. I think a couple months.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're all right there in Utah, and he came to visit.
Yeah, Megan.
So
Fox.
Jeff, I think he went to Vegas, I believe. Like so these people, like they're around, and all of a sudden, just
Fair and Balanced. Like I used to love that show he did with her and her sister.
Yeah, she actually. I haven't seen her. She posted something today on Twitter, which I haven't seen her post anything on Twitter in over a year
at least. Yeah, I was gonna say
she came.
Megan Fox used to go on Mercatus Stream, right? I think I know that name.
Yeah, pretty much all these people did. Yeah, pretty much.
I found out about Mercatus the same way a lot of people did, is through the debt trial. My wife actually was watching that shit. And I thought he was really entertaining. I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of funny. So
I only watched it for the Drex. Whenever Drex came out, other than that, I just,
I was over there for the trials, though. I think I always let Nick kind of do the trial stuff on his own because I don't think there's anything worse than like a legal matter, and then you have someone just speaking in like layman's term shit, being like, I don't know about the legal stuff. Like, if you ask about an active trial. I can always, comment on an active trial as like a non-lawyer. Like, we could all sit here and talk about like, what do we think is going to happen to Diddy, right?
Yeah.
And when you see that someone's $50 million bail is denied twice, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that means the feds have something on you. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But if you ask me like, what is he facing? What's going to happen? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that when the feds decline a $50 million bail twice, you're facing real time, bro. They've got something like they don't. That ain't normal. So
usually they're taking the money.
Oh, like
they know.
That's what I'm saying. They always take the money.
They know that you know they've got something, so they know you're a flight risk at that moment. They go, yeah, this dude's running because he.
What do you think about this latest stuff that's came out about Jay-Z?
So those got shelved, right? Because I think the accuser then started saying like, the story wasn't adding up. So I think it was dropped or about to be dropped.
I don't know. I mean, they're just.
I still think Jay-Z's going to fall next. He's going to be the next domino to fall because when you're in that business and you've risen to that level and you're around people like Diddy, A lot of cheeks had to get busted. A lot of baby oil and lube had to get used. So that's my take. Like, what were you doing? Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Don't you guys have a problem when people were around certain stuff and they detail it? But when you ask them, like, so what were you doing when all this was happening? They're like, I don't know.
Yo, yeah.
Wait
all
a
of a sudden,
minute.
they got amnesia.
Yeah, Jim, have you noticed that every time someone talks about Diddy parties, right? They're like, I saw all this shit. And you're like,
what's up with LeBron?
Things. Yeah, LeBron
just went oof. He's not playing. He's not coming back. He's gone.
I think somebody's got something, man. I think somebody's got something. But that's what I'm saying. If when people say, I was there, I saw X, Y, and Z. I don't know if you guys ever saw. If you want to see a video, pull up the video of Denzel leaving Diddy's party, because Denzel wasn't having it. You just type in like Denzel leaving Diddy party, and you'll see the clip. Bruh, I don't know what Denzel saw, but you can tell by his body language he saw something he didn't want to or wasn't meant to see. And he kind of like, have you guys ever seen somebody look back in disbelief? It's kind of like when you get a phone call, right? Like, when someone says something crazy, you pull the phone away like, what the? And you can't believe what you just heard. And it was like that moment. And it was, it looked like, I want to say this might have been like in New York City or something, but you see Denzel walking back to his SUV. It's like I don't know, a 30-second clip, not even. But he saw something, man. Like something happened where when people start reacting a certain way, something happened.
Oh, you're exactly right. They've got a look on their face like they smelt something, and you go, "Wait a minute, hold on, what's that look on
your?" Ain't right.
Yeah.
Yep. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That's it. Nailed it.
It's very true.
Oh, hey Jim.
There it is.
I might also have something to share. After you show this.
All right. Yeah, this is actually someone else talking about it, and then they'll get into it. So
30 minutes for the devil get there. We'd be at the party. You leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. Okay. And when he would say that, I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. I followed Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, it ain't nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ party with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen. What you do off screen is more important.
Many celebrities have mentioned Denzel Washington's advice to leave parties early, before the devil shows up. At first, many of us didn't fully understand the depth of his warning, but watching this rare footage of him leaving Diddy's party might offer us a clue. If you pay close attention to his body language, you'll notice that he seems shocked and visibly confused, almost as though he can't believe what he just witnessed. His expression and posture suggest a moment of disbelief, as if his mind is racing with questions about what just happened. When he gets into his car, it's clear that he's processing a lot internally, maybe asking himself, what did I just see? Or trying to make sense of the situation. His behavior contrasts sharply with that of someone leaving a fun and exciting event. Instead of looking happy or exhilarated, his demeanor suggests he's encountered something unsettling. This moment could very well explain why Denzel often advises others to leave parties early. In his experience, once the situation takes a dark turn, it's nearly impossible to walk away unscathed. He's seen firsthand how toxic environments can evolve, making it harder to escape the chaos. This commitment to his values and his ability to recognize when things are about.
What is that guy doing with the flashlight? Making it so they can't take pictures?
I don't know.
Or maybe it's for directing him, like the walk path or something.
I don't know. It doesn't look that dark, but the guy keeps flashing the flashlight and pointing it at people.
Yeah.
Weird.
It could just be to see who the hell is out
to go wrong is one reason why Denzel is so respected in Hollywood. He doesn't simply go along with the crowd. He stands firm in his integrity, constantly striving to live a life of respect and humility. While he's not perfect, Denzel remains a model of authenticity and a rare figure in the industry who maintains his integrity despite the temptations that surround him. His example serves as an inspiration to many who look up to him as a role model.
When the devil ignores you,
I've seen
then
this.
You know you're doing something wrong. Wait a minute, I'm not done now. The devil goes, oh no, leave him alone. Hey, he's my favorite. right.
Yeah.
Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right.
We be
Yep.
Yeah, man.
He's
Jim,
got enough
it's
money
that
to
look
be honest
backwards.
like that.
It's the look backwards, Jim. That's the tell.
Yeah, when he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. When if you guys have ever been in situations like this, and I've been there, where like something happened or was said, or there was some things where you're out of the situation, and you kind of look back, what the? And so his reaction when he got in the car, the narrator was very accurate. Your brain is trying to process what just happened. So you're sitting there like that didn't make sense. Though, this is the same kind of reaction you get when you find out that like one of your boys is down low, or there's some weird stuff going on. Because let's face it. Okay, you guys remember when Cat Williams talked about it in his original stand-up, when he talks about when he first got to Hollywood and went to the mansion parties, right?
Yeah.
And he said he just started walking in rooms, right? Like, oh, hey, I'm famous now. Let me just start walking in rooms. And Cat said he walked in the room and was like, well, hold up. And he saw some things he shouldn't have seen, right?
Yeah.
You got these A-list celebs that you think are a certain way, and they're engaging in some rainbow activities. You're like, hold up.
Yeah.
And that's how you get to look back. That's how you get to look back. Because like as you're trying to leave the park, because I'm gonna tell you something I've noticed about like anything that's unsavory or evil or anything like that. Once you see certain things, you start to look at the entire environment that you're in differently. Have you guys ever been in that situation where like someone says, "Hey Julio, come on in," and everything seems cool, but then you saw one thing, whether maybe it's a guy hit a girl in the back room or something, or you saw something that looked a little dicey, you went, wait a minute. And then when that moment happened, you did a panoramic view around everything you just saw. And all of a sudden you're like, what looked like a fun time suddenly became something else.
And you feel in your body.
You feel it.
Something happens to you.
You feel it.
You feel this. You feel this really bad aura that is like telling you to leave.
There is, and I've been there where like I give you guys an example. This was back in let me make sure I get the year right. 2005. It was 05 or 06. I'm up in Superior, Wisconsin, which is the border city right across the bridge from Duluth, right? And there was the fetish ball that was going on. And I was busy during the day, drove up, and from my place, that's almost 3 hours, right? So I'm exhausted, and I'm like, so this was in a hotel room, before, like the fetish ball was somewhere else. Like I think it was in the hotel, but like we were in a room, right? And I knew one of the ladies there. She was a dominatrix, and a couple that she knew, and I met them, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. And when you're in a room, and there's some other people I didn't know, right? And I did one of these. I was like, look, man, this is well before the thing starts. I'm gonna get in a little cat nap. Don't do that. I did the little put my head down for a little bit. Do you know what I woke up into? What kind of bullshit I woke up into, man? I opened my eyes. Same room. The people I know are still in there. But now there's a couple of the people, like, I can't remember if it was the exact same other people that were there, like one or two, came in. I wake up into some cross-dressers getting it in on the side of the room.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is... And here's the thing. We have this society where everyone says, like, don't kink shame Jim. No, I'm gonna kink shame, fam. I'm that guy. like certain things, because here's the thing. Okay, and I'll never forget this. There was a biker type girl there. Yeah. Jim, this girl, I'll never forget this. And this kind of goes back to my thing where I said, once you feel a vibe, you look at people differently. I'll never forget this. This chick was there, and she said something about like, where's the Coke? And there was a cooler right there, right? So I looked over, I was like, well, the cooler's right there. She looked at me like, first of all, like how dare you talk to me? And then she kind of had this like eye roll. And then I realized, oh shit, we got a cokehead. And so I'm looking, I'm like, and then once again, I started looking at everybody there. I'm like, I bet you all these fuckers are into some weirdo Will Smith Diddy type shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like all of a sudden you look at that whole environment different. I'm like, yeah, it's time to bounce.
It's not even like a Hollywood thing. Like I worked in bars as a bartender for 5 or 6 years, and sometimes somebody would walk in the door that I didn't recognize, and you get that, like I said earlier, your body feel like, oh, something's not right.
The energy changes.
The whole room changes when shit like that happens.
Yep.
Get kind of on alert, and sometimes you're wrong, but most of the time, if you're spending time in those types of places enough, you're right. You know what I mean?
But Julio, I'm gonna tell you like this though. What bothers me is that there's people in the world who enjoy being in that environment after their body gives them that signal. You see what I'm saying? Like any story I've ever told, you guys will notice it only happened once. You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys won't believe what happened when I was in San Diego. Yeah, fads happened once. You see what I'm saying? When you are in a situation and the energy changes and weird things start happening, right? With or without baby oil. When that shit happens, you're like, yeah, this will never happen again. Like, look, I almost died at a company function because a dude that I used to work with, fired now. This dude, now, this is one of those classic examples, right? Where you have a rental car. This is, once again, God watched over me. I had a rental car, as I always do, but everybody wanted to go out to the twerk house, right? This was a Blue Flame out in Atlanta. And people want to go and do certain things. Oh, yeah. You know about Blue Flame and Onyx before it burned down with chicken grease.
I'm from Birmingham, so yeah, I've been there.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And you know the Blue Flame, you go and you park out there, but before we get there, one of the girls is like, "Hey Drex, you don't need to drive, just hop in with them because they already know where we're going over there, right?" And you just kind of do a shoulder shrug, right? Like, "Oh yeah, Julio, yeah, I just hop in. It saves me time and energy."
Yeah,
bro, I'm in the car or SUV. This dude is swerving lanes, drinking open bottle and shit, bro.
Oh, boy.
Like going like probably 80 something plus. And I'm sitting there looking like, the fuck? You know what? I'm like, I just remember I basically like disconnected because I'm in the backseat. I was like, God, just let me just get to the Blue Flame and I'll Uber back. I will never be in this situation again. So I get there, right? I'm alive, obviously. I got there, man. I didn't even get mad at the dude. I didn't yell at him. I was just like, you know what? Okay. From this point on, in the rest of my life, I will only, when I get a rental car, I'm the only one driving. That's it.
Yeah.
No more going in cars with somebody. I don't care how well I think I know. Nope, done. I don't give anyone the opportunity anymore.
Some people, like you're saying, Trex, the people that get excited about that kind of vibe, they're only looking to make it to the next minute. Whereas I think people like you, Drex, I'm trying to make it to the morning.
Yeah.
Like I just want to have some fun and get past it. And some people thrive in that shit. They're like, oh, shit's about to go down. Let's go. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Like I mean, think about it. You think about the best times of your life. As much fun as you're having, do you guys notice that you always have to think about that next day, right? You're hanging out with your buddies. Let's say you're going on a great hike. I was up in Alaska earlier this year, and it didn't matter where I'm at in my life, what I'm doing. No matter how much fun I have, there's a quick moment where I'm like this. It's almost like you take an itinerary, right, of everything you're doing. Like, okay, it's this time. What time do I got to be up? What do I have next to do? Because there's always a next thing. And I think that kind of goes with what you're saying, Julio, is that the people who live too much in the moment, that's why, think about how you get life ruination. That's why when someone says, why are you drinking and driving? Why were you doing this? Why did Lily Phillips decide to get smashed by 100 dudes? Because she's living in the moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's living in the moment.
YOLO.
YOLO. Yeah, hey, woo. And all of a sudden, like, do you guys notice everybody who was aware of the Lily Phillips story, men and women, obviously the rabid feminists are not human, but they all kind of had the same reaction. Like, you do know this is going to ruin your life. Like you already looked broken in that, post interview after she got ran through.
I can't understand, like, people, like, she wants sympathy, like, somehow.
Yeah, like,
he was taking advantage. She did it. She wanted to do it. She plans. Now she's talking about doing 1,000.
Yep, in February.
I
think someone said she's going to warm up with 300. I think I heard that. I'm just like, so you're doing all these things, right? For what purpose, though, other than to flex? Like, here's the thing: if you flex on other women, and you say this only matters, this is like for any woman that will ever hear this. Smashing only matters to dudes. Because if a dude ever told you he smashed 100 chicks in a day,
he's lying.
Well, first of all, he's lying, right? But if he did, and he didn't have to pay for him, a guy is kind of like, damn, yeah, shit. I mean, we got to hand it to you, right? Round of applause.
It's that short-term thinking.
Yep.
Like the buddy who loves the bad vibe, or the girl who wants to get attention by banging 100 guys in a day. I mean, you're going to live your whole life, and that's what people are going to know you for. Your children, if you have them, your family. And if she wants to do 1,000 guys, 6 million guys in a day, 1,000, whatever, the math, I don't know how you can.
I think someone did the math. I think
hours.
It comes out to 84 seconds per dude.
It's like thought calculus. Somebody did.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it's, this is the thing, though, is that, like, this is the reason why, RIP Jeff. This is like one of those great topics I wish I could, talk to Jeff about. Like, culture to culture, how do people in Seoul react to something like this? Because, this shit is global. Like, we're all interconnected now, right? State to state, country to country, culture to culture. If you think the people in South Korea don't know about Lily Phillips, they know, right? She said it herself. There was a guy from like the Caribbean or something that was flying over to do the shoot.
She's from England or something, right? I mean,
she sounds Australian.
She's
British.
Yeah, but she's British. Okay.
Yeah.
She has a whole friend named Bonnie Blue, who's also going to be engaged in the same activities. Don't ask how I know. Obviously, I did this for research purposes.
Bonnie Blue, you say?
Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips. Right. So they're in a beef, and so this was funny. When someone starts beefing, and you hear the name, you're like, "Why's that name sound familiar?" And then your goon folder in your mind remembers that they did a video together, and it says Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue take on 23 dudes. Just like, oh, this is terrible.
That'd be disappointing at this point. She set the bar too high. How are you gonna?
Yeah,
you can't do 1,000 in a day, man. That's like what 2 minutes a dick.
No, it's 80 something seconds. But you got to remember this though. So Cynic, the original record was set by a chick who used to be mildly attractive and then she pulled the pin on the fat grenade. Lisa Sparks is who set the original record. It was like 948 in one day.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be like one pump.
Yeah, and that's like
it's 86 seconds. That's all you can get.
86 seconds. So, yep, there it is. 86 seconds.
You better be rocking and rolling, ready to go, man.
I mean, I want you guys to imagine that though, right? Like, because remember,
I mean, dude, does each guy have to actually complete for it?
No, I think they just have to physically penetrate, and then that counts as a body.
Yeah, it's kind of cheating, though.
So for 86 seconds, then is from the time from when this guy pulls out to the next guy gets in, puts in 86 seconds, basically like
well, three at a time, Jim. You would think, though, right? I mean, it's not. They're not just working.
Yeah. If she was smart, she would just go ahead and I don't know, either do a sex swing. That would actually be the smartest thing to do is a sex swing.
Yeah,
we should. This is something that we could legitimately study.
You get a conveyor belt set up.
There's science.
That's what I'm saying.
Way down.
Yeah.
Strapped on. Bump.
Yep.
Bump.
You can. You can have that old cartoon music going. Dun 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 dun. Bodies are just rolling by.
Yeah.
You know what I find kind of crazy about this whole thing, though? You guys ever think about like one of the craziest things about when people go for these kind of records and they're doing this like engaging in all these crazy things? We talk about like, the kids and this and that and like, how will that affect things? The worst part to me is the flip side of that coin. is that for all the repulsion and this is like a cautionary tale. Do you know what's happening right now, Julio? Like as we speak, you know what's happening in this exact moment? Somewhere in the world, there is some young girl who's like, I want to do more than 1,000.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't even think about that.
That's the problem.
You only had, when I lived in my little neighborhood, my little apartment complex when I was a kid, I was a good athlete. I was one of the better athletes of my neighborhood. I didn't have the whole world and the internet to compete with to try to get attention. Do you know what I mean? I only had to be the best out of 15 kids.
Yeah, but
now
y'all remember being back in
school.
Y'all remember being back in school and a chick would hook up like 3 dudes at the school, and you were like, "That's a
hoe,
lot, man."
Yeah. If you had 3 bodies in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, like watch this. Hey Jim, when you were growing up, what was defined as a hoe when you were coming up?
Like 3 bodies.
3 bodies, right? Like that was legit. If we were all in the locker room and the year was like, let's say,
if you knew 3 dudes that hit,
3 dudes that hit, before you guys graduated, you would say that girl's a hoe.
Yes. Yeah.
Like think about how far we've gone.
This chick is literally getting paid to do 100 and planning to do 1,000. Like, motherfucker, man.
What's that Will Ferrell movie clip when he goes, "Ooh, that escalated quickly."
Yeah. Weatherman.
Yeah.
But no, Anchorman, my fault. Weatherman. This is what's crazy though, is that like people talk about hoeflation and this and that and hoe math. He makes great content and stuff.
I have his book.
Oh, do you? Oh,
nice. Yeah.
Oh shit. I didn't get that.
My son and I read it, cracking up.
Well, Julio. Okay, let me ask you this: is the funniest shit in the world not? You and I knew this even before, someone had to put it into, a compact package, right? To say this is what the numbers are, right? Even before that, our loose math kind of knew it. You see what I'm saying? Everybody here, right? Andrew, Cynic, me, you, Jim, we all have like a similar lived experience, right? Where when someone says, give us a rough estimate of how promiscuous these modern chicks are. Now, based on where you are in your age and sort of thing, you may have a lower number or something on the high end, right? Yeah. But if we all go back to what we just said earlier, if back in the day 3 bodies was a lot, what we can all agree on is 3 bodies by modern standards. You're like, oh my God, this girl might as well just be a saint. She's a nun at 3 bodies. She hasn't crossed over double digits.
Yeah, she's still a virgin. What are you talking about?
She's a virgin, basically.
Yeah.
And
what are you?
And you look at
barely used.
Yeah. Nowadays, if a girl's got less than 30 bodies, they're like, oh, she's a good girl. It's like, what?
That's fucking baffling, man.
Like, but Cynic, do you know what the problem I have with that?
What is
the
that?
problem I have with that is not the bodies. It's the reaction of the normies to the bodies. Like what they'll say is, we're all lying, and like, you guys need to get married and marry that good girl. And like dudes like Jim and I that know, like Jim is out there in Florida, right? And we were talking on the phone, and we've talked about this. Jim knows it's over. There's people out there still coping, like, nah, it's not over, Jim. America's coming back, and I'm looking at Jim like, this shit is done.
Yeah, the 90s and the 80s that everybody always yearns for, it's over with. It's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
Like, window is. I mean, you look at Trump. He's basically like a 90s lefty.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. He's Clinton. He's Clinton.
Yeah, he's Clinton. Yeah. And
he's
so that Overton
Clinton.
window has shifted so far, and society has shifted so far. You're not going to get that. 3 bodies is a hoe anymore. It's just not going to happen.
We're living in the Weimar Republic.
You got to adjust your expectations
1920s
with
Germany.
people now. So, yeah.
Well, Cynic, have you ever seen the videos that show Hillary talking back in the 80s and 90s? She said literally what Trump is saying today, verbatim, about the borders, but verbatim, like, like the same issues, the same, like the way she presented it. It's like, okay, so what's that telling you? If you were called a Democrat, I mean, Trump was a registered Democrat. People always forget that. So basically, Trump is not a Republican. He's just what the Democrats were 30 years ago.
Reagan was a fucking registered Democrat too.
Yep.
Until he switched. I mean,
yep.
I honestly don't think that JFK or even his brother RFK today, if they saw what they wouldn't be Democrats anymore. I mean, that's big, people think like, oh, it's the Republicans. No, the Democrats keep moving this way, and then the Republicans are moving, but just not as fast.
Yep, just chasing,
just not as fast. You know, Michael Malice says it best when he says, you know, Republicans are just Democrats driving the speed limit.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Yeah,
it's a great metaphor. It's crazy. I mean, you look at just the way that all of us have kind of come up, and we've come to certain conclusions. And the thing that's always struck me, and I've said this in the past, is that like people come from such different walks of life, yet we have like the same conclusions. You see what I'm saying? Like if all of us on this panel had sons, right? If we all had sons, there's no way we would give our sons in 2024 the same kind of like advice that our fathers gave us in 84, 94, even 74. You see what I'm saying? There's no way.
Yeah. You got to modernize common sense.
I didn't give my son any of the advice that I got when I was his age. Problem is, he still didn't listen to the advice I gave.
Yeah. Damn. But think about those. I'm glad you brought this up, though, Jim. So we're in a society where, regardless if someone claims to be left or right, talk to a girl was like a thing. That's something that people were like, yeah, that's awesome. That's a girl that we like. So let me get this straight. A girl that talks about spit shining a shaft is considered like, yeah, that's our girl. That's how we, bro. If you would have said that shit in like 93, you're done.
Yeah, she'd be doing porn. You're saying that's the only job she'd be able to get now would be porn. So.
Unless you're saying it to me in private.
Yeah.
And
privately, yeah, Hawk to a girl would have been. If anything, I'll tell you where Hawk to a girl would win.
She would have been castigated, outcast. She wouldn't have been. People would have been like, "Get the fuck," because it was a drunken thing that she said, and it was a.
Yep. No, Jim. She could only say that within a relationship. So like, here's the context where Hawk to a girl would get no shame back in the day. There's a bunch of girls who are hanging out, having drinks or whatever, doing what girls do, which is just talking about dudes. And then the same question pops up. But she's with a man, whether she's dating or married. And she goes, you got to give him that hot tour. In that context, they would all be like, damn, like, you know, you got to really give your man, you know, the real good sloppy toppy to keep him. She'd be like, yeah, you better, or he's going to be out here running the streets. Then that would make sense. So, Ric Flair.
Woo!
We talk about solar flares a lot. I'm fascinated by them.
But I mean, is any solar flare better than Ric Flair, though?
No,
watch his 30 for 30 on ESPN if you haven't, man. It's excellent.
Fucking.
Oh, you saw it?
He gets real. I'm a wrestling guy. He gets real as fuck in that 30 for 30.
Yep.
And he doesn't.
Hey, when he had the psychiatrist sitting on the couch because the psychiatrist couldn't believe how insane his life was. Like, imagine going to a shrink and you're so on the edge that you and the shrink switch places, man. That's Ric Flair.
Ric Flair can't help but be Ric Flair. And that's why I love him. He lives the fucking gimmick.
Yep.
The fucking limos were real. The suits were real. He bought that shit with his own cash. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
There's something about when I think that when it comes to authenticity, right? Anybody can be a studio gangster, right? Anybody can go there and pretend to be all these things and say these things. And I mean, let's face it. In the current climate, right? Let's just say from COVID onward, how many people have gotten exposed for something, right? Like they presented one side of their life, like, oh, I am X. And it turns out they were something completely different, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people got exposed like that. A guy like Ric Flair, you can't expose him, right? Because he was like, oh, I told you what I was doing, right? Hookers, blow, and, you know, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Like, yeah, I lived it.
Yep. He was cutting promos in the South saying, all right, I'm going to be at the Holiday Inn Hotel at the bar, ladies. And he'd fucking be there.
Dude, I mean, think about it. What you guys ever think about people from the past, what they would be in this modern social media era? Like Wilt Chamberlain said he smashed 20,000 chicks, right?
I remember that.
What would Wilt still be in the mind? Jim, could you imagine what damage Wilt would do now?
Do you think that's I
think it's real. I think it's real. And I'll tell you why. there were people out there because Tommy Morrison bragged that he was in the same league as Will Chamberlain, right? And some people go, "No, that's crazy. That's too far out." When Mike Tyson was in Tokyo, he said he was running through 30 to 50 chicks, 30 to 50 Japanese chicks a day, which sounds Tyson, crazy.
Well, but if you think about it, like Will Chamberlain was one of a kind, so I could see girls going, "Well, hold up, I want to climb that tree because there's not another tree like it." Same with Mike Tyson in Japan.
Yep.
Well, we've never seen somebody like
we've never seen that before.
You check that out for a minute, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could be doing like 2 or 3 girls after every game,
every city. Think about it. Okay, so Jim, did you ever hear the thirst trap of the 80s? Did you ever hear how they thirst trapped?
What are you talking about? How they were?
Okay, so in the modern era, women have access to your social media, right? Mm-hmm. Back in the day, they explained it during the Showtime Lakers, right? They explained what happened. So this was a thirst trap back in the 80s. All of us play for the Lakers. We're all on the road, right? When these girls knew what hotel we were going to be at, because that's the kind of, because all it takes is someone at the front desk. You guys remember the movie Casino? That's how information got exchanged, right?
Yeah.
Hey, the Lakers are here, right? The ladies would go to where the guys would be staying, put their panties and attach their phone number on the door. That was the thirst trap. So you put up a G-string and it was a size, whatever, it was the size that you like, right? And you're like, oh, I want to see who this. And sometimes they left Polaroids with their pictures and shit. That was the thirst trap of the 80s.
Same shit with rock stars back then. Or musicians.
Yep.
And then you play guitar, you call out your roadie, and you go, "That girl here, find her."
Yep, point to her. Yep.
They get her back, give her a VIP pass.
And you could easily do the whole team. I told you guys, one of my favorite shows growing up was Behind the Music on MTV or VH1. My fault.
Love
and I'll never forget watching the Guns N' Roses one where they placed bets how long they could smash chicks without taking a shower on the road. And they went weeks. Like, Jim, I don't remember the exact day. I know it was over a month, if I recall, without taking a shower. Now you guys know how much you sweat, right? Like you're on stage, it's hot, sweaty. They got the long hair flailing.
But that's not even comfortable to like.
But Jim, do you know what that proves? You can't
go one day in Florida without taking a damn shower.
Oh, absolutely not. But you know what that also proves?
It's too easy.
It's too easy. It proves
like
that,
Diddy.
Okay,
back to Diddy.
Yep.
Like I can fuck these people anytime I want. I need to raise the bar, get a new challenge.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm just bored. I think I didn't mean to interrupt you, Trax, but that's
no, you're all good, man. I just think that it highlights a few things about human nature, which is like you're saying about things being easy, right? I think one of the weirdest things about when you get to that level, if you guys ever saw The Wolf of Wall Street, right? Yeah. I love that movie. Do you remember when they started bringing in the midgets and shit and all the weirdo stuff?
The midget bowling,
people thought midget bowling, like okay, Jordan Belfort said all that stuff was real, right? He's like, no, because do you know how you get to that point? All of us think that we're decent, respectable guys, but imagine us when we were younger and someone just flooded us with money, right? And endless money, right? Okay. How long before we would have to just come up with creative new ways to get off? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Jim, Jim, you've seen this, right? Where people they'll bash athletes. Like these young athletes are so stupid. They're spending all their money on Lamborghinis and fast women. Everyone's like, but what would you have done at 23?
Yep.
Right? At 23, you would be like, no, let me make sure I establish my 401k and all these investments. No, you wouldn't.
Fuck no.
You're 23 with $100 million in South Beach.
No, nobody normal thinks about that stuff till they're in their 30s at least.
Yep.
They're like, oh shit, I got to worry about retirement. That's like you're like past 35 and you're like, oh fuck, I got to start getting worried about what I'm going to do.
Dude, I never lie, Jim. I never even thought about saving. No bullshit. I didn't think about saving anything until I had a kid. Yeah. At all. I literally was just like living life. Like I made money, I spent money, right? Like life is good. And then
a lot of people in your 20s, you're like, I didn't think I was going to make it this far.
Yeah.
That
is true.
Well, think about the risk you took, right? You guys remember going off man-made jumps, kid-made jumps when you were growing up? Part of you couldn't even imagine living to 20 years old, 25, 30, right?
Seemed ancient.
Yeah,
for sure.
You guys remember being young kids playing with G.I. Joes? If someone said 30, they might as well say 130. You're like, 30 years old?
Yeah.
You're that fucking old? Damn, that's crazy.
Well, some of these athletes, they didn't, or anybody, you don't have to be an athlete. If you don't grow up with money,
yeah,
you don't respect the money. So
Facts.
you get the money and you treat it disrespectfully. You just throw it around. Like you don't, it's not even a bad trait. You just don't, you don't know what you don't know, you know? So they're just like, I don't know, money buys shit. They don't think about, they think about the minute, not the next day. Like we were saying earlier about,
you
know, and it's nothing wrong. I mean, that's just, you know, if you grow up like that.
Oh, we got a clip.
Oh, there's a clip. Yeah, I had it. I pulled it up before. I didn't know if it was just a.
Yeah, because like it was part of like the P Diddy topic that we were on.
Oh shit! Right. Okay, now, you know anything involves Diddy and oil?
Come on. Let's see in your room. hey! Stop screaming! Hey, it's just me, P Diddy. What's your problem? Hold on. Stop screaming. It's me, P. It's me. My giant P Diddy. Quiet. Hey, where you going? Hey.
Oh no! Wait, did you guys ever see the Ellen episode where Diddy was on there?
No,
well, dude. Why did she book out of the country all of a sudden?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, if you guys look it up. Look up Ellen, Diddy, and kids. And there's a bunch of kids that, bro. It's one of the things where I'm just saying it looks real suspicious in hindsight. You're like,
So let me ask you, what do you think? Because this is something I've been thinking about. His role in Get Him to the Greek. All right.
Yep.
The way he was acting, all that stuff. Now, do you think that was him just life imitating, like his art was imitating his life, or did that role come and he goes, well, fuck, look at all the shit I did in the movie. This is what I should be doing in real life.
So you're asking, like, do you think that came first or after, right?
Yeah,
like,
was that part of the movie? Was that him show, you know, like
see, I believe he was always doing this.
So he was always doing it. So that was
because there's been stories about Diddy for decades, right?
As long as I can remember, Diddy's always
yeah. This isn't new.
Mace came out.
Yeah, you're right. When Mace went religious. Okay, so Jim, at the time, and Cynic, you remember this. Mace went religious and he got laughed at, right? Because we're like, you know, you sold 5 million records on Harlem World. You're at the top of the game. All of a sudden, you went religious. But I'll tell you when it started to really affect people. There was like this exact point where people went, wait a minute, why is it always Diddy? Okay.
Yeah.
Biggie dies. Mace goes religious. Shine in the nightclub. Yep. And that was like that point where everyone kind of stopped, like, hold up. See,
he fucked Shine's whole career up too.
Whole career up. Dude had to move to Belize, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
God.
And so, Cynic, do you remember when the Shine thing happened?
Yeah.
Something told you Shine is the fall guy, right?
Oh yeah.
You weren't even there. You're just like, something feels off.
Yeah.
This isn't
the thing about
because
Shine, for example, was the next Biggie. Like he had the largest contract in hip hop at that time.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, it was him, Diddy, and what's his name's J-Lo was in the club.
Yep.
And you hear Diddy get caught up in it in the news. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was listening to his album around that same exact time, and I was like, hold up. Shine was never mentioned by the cops.
Nope.
Wait a minute.
Diddy was the fall guy. I'm gonna say Shine was the fall guy.
That was it.
There was a lot of weird, like, because Jim, I'll tell you where the first big news kind of came and then got swept under the rug back in the 90s. Wendy Williams said there was a gay hip hop mafia, right?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Years ago, and she got laughed at.
Yeah.
She said, she goes, no, you guys. So this is long before Boondocks and long before a whole lot of other things started, you know, doing the whole gay rapper thing.
There's all types of rumors about Tupac and Dre and Eazy-E and
so Tupac. If you guys ever look up the original Machiavelli album, he has the original album cover has Dr. Dre getting hit from the back by a drag queen, and
his cheeks puffed out.
He's good. and Puffy is in a tutu, right? So Puffy is cross-dressed and he's in a tutu. Biggie looks like a big fat pig, and then Dre is getting hit from the back. And there's all kinds of other stuff that was going on. And so at the time, you're kind of looking like, what is going on? And then the Wendy Williams thing. And then you started hearing stories. But so what has happened is like it's almost like your brain catalogs this information, right? Like it's kind of like in the deep recesses of your mind. So once the internet really started getting bigger, people started going back at old interviews, like Professor Griff. A lot of dudes that we saw, and you remember this, Cynic, we thought they were just bitter, mad rappers. Remember that?
For the longest
time, a lot of
yeah.
dudes who were like, "No, man, this hip hop shit.
This is gangster rap. How could they? They wouldn't do that. This is gangster rap.
They wouldn't do that. These dudes is hardcore. All of a sudden, dudes like DMX, they try to make look crazy when he started talking about it. Because DMX like, these homo thugs. So everyone's looking like, why is DMX always popping off on industry dudes? And then all of a sudden, you start going back and back and back. And you're like,
you notice anybody that talked about it, look at their careers.
They ended your career. Anybody, Jim, if you said anything about the whole gay agenda in hip hop, your career got ended, right? So people started going back.
DMX is a crackhead. Mace can't sell an
DMX
album.
although he actually was a crackhead, but
you know what I'm saying.
He was.
He actually was.
You think nobody give a shit though? You know what I mean? Like, you think he just started doing crack randomly, or you think he was always fucking around with drugs?
No, he was fucked up even when he was a kid.
That's what I'm saying. So nobody cared until he opened his big fucking mouth. Is my point.
Yeah. They were okay with DMX being a crackhead, but once he started exposing industry street secrets, he was now the crazy crackhead.
Do you think it's kind of interrelated with the whole thing, like with the how actors, especially black actors, how they make them wear dresses and shit?
Yeah, all that feminization stuff. This is all design. This is all by design. And one of the major things that you'll find out is that like a lot of these industries are not what people think. So music, modeling, things like that, sports, the real purpose of them is to shift an entire culture, right? You shift, that's why they call them influencers. They influence culture, they influence youth. And if you can get Dwayne Wade to have his kid, Magic Johnson to have his son, you guys notice? Okay, I want you guys to go back in time for a second. Back in not that long ago, there were a lot of actresses in Hollywood. And do you remember their big thing was like, we adopt kids. Remember that?
Yeah.
Just adopt them.
Yeah.
Then it became, you can't just adopt. You got to adopt a little black or brown kid, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to Asia. Let's go to Africa. That wasn't enough. Then what became the new thing? Now every kid says their kid's trans. You're like, wait a minute. That's mathematically that's impossible.
Kids. Yeah, Charlize Theron, same thing.
Charlize Theron, and you guys remember Sean Penn? What caused the rift between Sean Penn and Charlize Theron? Sean Penn wasn't going for that shit, right? And he's probably sitting there looking like, yo, these are boys. She had her handlers had her go that woke agenda. We started hearing stories about Richard Pryor getting his cheeks clapped by Marlon Brando. There was a lot of weird stuff going on there. Yeah. See, everywhere you look, it was some gay shit. And you start looking like,
right? Didn't he get crap in 90? Didn't he get HIV? Right?
He was getting clapped.
So the only I never heard a story about Eazy-E because people who were around say Eazy-E was raw dog and hoes on tour, which at that time dangerous now, especially if you're in Atlanta. But it's hard to know because, as you guys know, people start spreading. This is something like what happened to Alexander the Great, right? To kind of like destroy Alexander the Great's name. He had who's the guy? He ended up living in the movie. They show him as being like part of his crew, but that wasn't really the case.
Yeah,
it was.
They tried to make it sound like he was
Cassander. Cassander is the one who basically killed off Alexander's bloodline, and then basically like besmudged his name, similar to how they did like Napoleon, right?
Yeah.
Like Napoleon wasn't short. Napoleon wasn't these things. So you guys know how this works. The winner dictates how the story is told, right?
Right.
So the Tupac thing, I remember an interview where Tupac said Quincy Jones asked him to bust his cheeks. And he's like, he was dating his daughter. He's like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, see, and we all know Michael was passed around the industry like a blunt because he was sold out to the industry. You see what I'm saying? Like, Like, okay, do you guys remember when you were growing up, you would see teen and child stars crash out? You guys remember that? Like,
Corey, what's his face? That whole thing about
Corey Feldman,
Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Charlie Sheen, and
all of them. You guys remember that whole era, River Phoenix, like that whole era of young stars, right? When I was growing up, I used to think that was just the price of fame, like, or some certain people couldn't handle it. So I'd be like, I don't know why these people can't handle, fortune and fame at a young age, and they go crazy. Come to find out, that's not what was happening. They were getting trafficked. They were getting, all kinds of weird sex stuff and rituals, and getting turned out.
Spears.
The Monarch programming, MK Ultra babies.
The thing with Britney Spears, supposedly, she said the reason why she shaved her head wasn't because she was going crazy. It was so she wouldn't be attractive anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of self-hatred and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she probably hated the image. Think about it. A lot of the image itself, the imagery that they project onto the masses, that they use these kids for, a lot of it is a humiliation ritual. So when she's pretending to be a schoolgirl, the Nickelodeon dude already clapped. The sister, Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider busted Britney Spears, Jamie Lynn's cheeks.
Jamie Lynn
had the baby. Yeah. Bro, the amount of pedophilia in that world, all these PDF files and shit. There's weirdos out here, man, and they're trafficking kids. Do you guys know why a lot of these celebrities are having all these kids? They're organ harvesting, man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That escalated.
I thought it was the adrenochrome.
Well, that too. Don't worry. They're going to scare the kids and get that adrenochrome. Yeah, like you guys know, you don't really see
it was
kids.
Like a buffet. They were like, "Hey, let me in this movie. Check out my buffet of children I have." Right?
Yeah.
I've got this little Swahili boy. I got this little Asian boy. I've got, you take your pick. That's what I seriously always.
Yeah. You offer them up. They're trafficking. Oh, here's a prime example. I want you guys to do the digging. When they busted R. Kelly, right? Do you know that the night that R. Kelly had those girls in the bus, they were on the bus, right? Do you know whose house they were at?
No, who else they're at, Jax?
Clive Davis, gay ass Clive Davis.
Clive Davis?
Yep. He's the real ringleader behind this, man. The puppies of the world, they're fall guys. Remember, Puffy was put in that position.
Yeah, Puffy.
He started at Uptown, went to Arista, and then that's who gave him the money for Bad Boy.
Yeah,
he had to do the rituals.
Theory about there being that it was like all this stuff was orchestrated, controlled by a certain group of people that wear small hats on their head.
It's the black division, Jim, is called the Boule. The Boule is the black division of the Illuminati. So if you guys ever want to do a deep dive, you'll go like this. It all makes sense, but sounded crazy at the time. Look up a guy, Jim, named Jonathan Oddie. He was arrested for trying to assassinate Trump. Just type in Jonathan Oddie and then type in like P. Diddy. He's in an interrogation room, and they thought he was going to talk about the assassination attempt, right? He's a fat, like Middle Eastern looking dude. And you'll see him. He details the black division of the Illuminati and what rap is actually used for. And remember, at the time, he sounded crazy, right? Oh, this guy's crazy. What's he talking about? He talked about how I think it was like Diddy or somebody gave him herpes or whatever, and he was getting that. He's a sex slave. That's him right there. Yep.
There you go. Nice, Jim. Yep. Well, that shit right up.
Sex with Cassie and Sean.
I'll be right back.
He would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Jim, there's an actual, you can watch the full interview. He goes into DJ Khaled Rick Ross, all these dudes. He goes in depth. You can find that.
So we all agree that these people are just chess pieces and not the chess masters.
Yeah,
so
none of them are.
But what's the goal? Is it
so?
I mean, that's the question.
So
like, why we already anybody with a sense knows these people are being like marionettes and pushed.
I do believe that there is an end goal,
right?
Yeah,
and you can actually see it if you actually like look carefully. I believe that they do have an end goal, and this is the reason why it was getting pushed slowly but surely. The end goal is that everything will get inverted, and we're almost there. So they push the little trans agenda, the gay agenda. It's okay to be gay. You guys remember all those sayings in the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been pushed. Rap of the 90s was not on gay shit. However, go back and watch Biggie's old video of Big Papa and all that. That was a tranny in the video.
Yeah,
they've been pushing this shit for decades, bro.
She was a famous tranny too. She was like a
famous tranny.
prostitute.
The FBI, the FBI met with the label heads, and I still see you, Jimmy Iovine, and they met with these people way back when to push gangster rap. Do you know what the purpose of gangster rap was actually used for? The feds wanted it. They wanted a music that could influence the youth to commit crimes to overpack these goddamn prisons. That's what the purpose of gangster rap was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There was like the same people that own the prisons, the private prisons, owned the record labels.
Yep.
Like the same.
Yep.
And they wanted, hey, we can make money on.
We can get them in. Yep. Because if you glorify certain shit,
I didn't know that. I thought private prisons was a new thing. I didn't know it was.
No, they've been around.
They've been around forever.
Obama was supposed to get rid of them. That was a campaign promise.
That plan. Obama.
That's one of the reasons.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of Obama, did you guys see the interview? Jim, you can look it up right now. It's a clip. Type in Joan Rivers Obama.
Joan Rivers, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remember that? She
right
bro, she was dead like a week later.
I love Joan Rivers though. She was fucking funny as shit.
But Julio, do you notice that she was always called crazy, right? They called her crazy, right? Oh, she's crazy.
Yeah.
And they were talking about gay president. He goes, we already got one. Yeah, Barry Soetoro, Obama, and Michelle's a tranny. She said that shit and was dead a week later.
She said that?
Yes.
Yeah. She said it, like standing on the streets of New York.
Standing on the step. No bull. Yep. Cindy saw it. If Jim can find the clip, it's a clip.
There's
it's
a clip
like 30
of her.
seconds.
It's right here.
Joan Rivers gave no fucks.
Don't you feel ashamed of yourself that you're calling a poor woman that's just doing her job the way the federal guidelines are set up and calling her a moron? I mean,
no, I don't, my darling.
My darling. I love her.
Given a boarding pass with the wrong name on it, I went through 5 different security passes, and then a woman at the gate who will not look at my passport, who will not call Continental, who will not call for help, who will not recheck into their records, says to me, "You cannot go on." No, she is a moron.
Oh, that's not the one.
I'm
thinking the one where she's walking the steps.
Jennifer B. Once.
Wait a minute. That fucking said.
Joan, don't you feel ashamed of yourself that you're calling a.
Fuck, did they?
No. You'll see it. She's walking up steps. Yeah. See, it says claims Obama's.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Jim.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama.
Well, I don't know. I've seen pictures of their
That's
kids look like that. Their friends, like that one friend.
The friends' kids. Yeah, we know.
Kids. And I saw the video of Michelle dancing on Ellen, and there's something swinging in between her fucking legs, man. You ever seen that?
Jim, they're doing it in our face. And what bothers me is that these people, you remember, the masses they're basically just useless. Like I gave up because I saw what happened. I saw what it is. Your average person, you look at the testosterone levels. There's a reason why there's so many low T. Do you know what happens when you lower the testosterone of an entire generation and then another generation? No one's going to fight you.
Yeah.
No one fights you.
Yeah, they grow soft.
Soft. What do you see now? Have you guys just like walked around and just really like opened your eyes and looked at the youth? They're soft.
Oh yeah, I've got a
Weak.
godson who's 22.
And they talk like that.
And I look at him.
Yeah, they always got that fucking anime voice.
Yeah, I look at him and I go, when I was 22, I looked like a grown fucking man. This kid looks like a kid with like, there's no masculine feature on him.
None.
And it's not like he works in construction. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a bitch, but him and all of his friends, they don't have that masculine. It's like they never hit that final stage of puberty where you get that jawline, you could grow a beard, your voice really gets like
The voice.
set in.
They all look and sound like fucking twinks.
Everyone you have some bass in your voice.
There's no bass in the voice. They don't. You know, the other thing is though, when you ask them about, and this is the reason why they go after certain channels, they go after certain messages. There's a certain, let's just say, a certain way of thinking that they really want to attack, and what they're trying to attack is it's unity and masculinity is what they're really attacking, because those are the two things that destroys the deep state, that destroys the agenda. Because if you can divide everybody, you win. If you can weaken everybody when they're already divided, you double win. So what's the opposite of that? What happens when guys from all different groups, right? What could you guys imagine if a group of white supremacists and a group of brothers went ahead and dapped it up and said, we're going to work together?
Church, right, Ruby?
Do you guys? Do you guys remember that one clip?
I'm coming.
Wait. wait. There's a clip. When like Antifa, was like trying to destroy a town, and I think like the Proud Boys, came and pounded them, and there's like this one guy, who like towers like this other, who towers like this Antifa guy, and and with the Proud Boys guy, takes like one swing at this Antifa guy, and he like just falls to the ground. Like I'll probably try to find that clip, but I don't know if YouTube will allow.
I'd question the authenticity of the Proud Boys, to be honest with you. I think
you're right, Drex. Like whenever if that's another thing that they've thrown and tried to divide us. When I was a kid, me and Ruby do a show on Sundays, and I was talking to him earlier tonight about I grew up with a guy named Jabarish. He was my best friend in the world, and never once did anybody in my school or my neighborhood, and I'm from Alabama, so never once did I have any racial problems. But all of a sudden, around Obama getting elected, there was all these racial tensions going on. And you started seeing all this, and I told my buddy, I was like, man, it feels like this country is trying to divide like friendships like you and I have, because if we stood together and said this shit's not real, how could they stop us? They have us fighting each other versus paying attention.
While they take all the money and all the power.
Exactly.
Yep. That's absolutely. I grew up in the 80s.
And they're up here and you're down there.
It has worked. Obama plan has worked. Me and Cynic, we fight all the fucking times. Right. He calls me in words. I call him the C word and all that stuff. We're fucking enemies. We're at each other's throats constantly. Fuck you, Cynic.
Cunt? That ain't right.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the other C word. Oh, commie. Yeah. No, but I remember growing up in the 80s in high school. I swear, I'm being legit. You didn't think about that. You had friends. It wasn't different
your
types
friendships
of friends.
was a meritocracy.
It wasn't a thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfectly said. Yeah, you're right, Trax.
It wasn't. I'm not saying it didn't exist, right? And people didn't my granddad didn't say, "Hey, why are you hanging out with that black kid?" Stuff in more rude terms. But my generation, you could say it if you want to.
Nigga.
There you go. But my dad never said anything. My mom never said anything. And like I said, I'm not saying that stuff didn't exist, but it felt to me for the longest time like it was really going by the wayside. And we were starting to be unified on stuff. And now
it was the OJ trial.
No, no.
That's my cold take.
Me and Jabarish were in the same class in 3rd grade, and we were watching the OJ trial. It was
but you're too young.
The OJ trial wasn't the OJ trial. It was.
Rodney King.
Wasn't even
That
Rodney
was
King.
before.
No,
That was before. That was 90.
Rodney King
before
really
LJ.
didn't call because honestly, most everybody thought that those cops were fucked up for beating.
No,
up
what
kids.
it was, and this is my opinion, right? Like I don't know if there was an event, but when Obama came into office, he started doing like, "You're a victim. You're a victim. Black people. Look,
Obama started.
You're a victim. You'll always be a victim. Everybody's out to get you."
He started doing that race baiting shit.
He said that everybody who was white was racist and had white privilege and all that stuff, and that's what.
That's when Trayvon got killed, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was before Trayvon. It was when friend of his that was the professor was trying to break into his own house, and the cops came, and the cops asked him for ID, and it was this whole thing, and he said the cop acts stupid and all this stuff, and then it turned out it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
So where's the money in all this? Because clearly it's always follow the money. So all
Because
these plans,
if you can keep me and Drex from being friends, right? We can't pay attention to what you're fucking robbing me of in taxes.
Yep.
If I go, you know what? It's Drex, and Drex has food stamps, and Drex can look at me and go, that white trash honky, he has food stamps too, and he's taking my tax dollars. I work hard. If we're blaming each other for where the tax money goes, they can just put it in one pocket, and we never even notice it.
So you're abandoning me for Drexel because he's taller than me? You fucking traitorous fuck.
Yeah, how did you get? How come you're so fucking short, Ruby?
That should just leave this. You guys gonna just bully me?
No, I don't understand it. It's like you really.
No, my people's short. My mom and dad are short. You know, I got.
I'm with Ruby. Ruby, I'm with you. I got you. I'm 5'9", so
he comes from a pig.
there wasn't a you have to be this tall to enter this stream that I saw. I just came in.
Same here. I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
Damn, y'all some giant motherfuckers, man. Shit, I wish I was tall.
But
Ruby,
it
I'm
wasn't
4'8", man. Don't worry.
It wasn't even Obama, really. It wasn't Obama that did it, but
it
was
wasn't
the
him
newspapers. It was the newspapers. You can specifically look at the newspapers in the mentions. Like there's a chart. I'll find
I'm not blaming Obama.
It shows the
I'm
mentions
saying
of
that's the
race
timeline
and
that
all
I
these
saw.
different things that started like right at I want to say 2010, 2011. Just like.
By the way, I want to say. What's up, everybody? I didn't get to say that. And what's up, Drax? I always wanted to talk to you, buddy.
Hey, man, I'm around. Hell, I've been so busy. Hell, I literally just got over a cold too. Like I said, I told the guys I had something nasty that was like 2 weeks, just wouldn't go away, and I'm like, oh.
Drex doesn't talk to anybody under 6 foot.
Oh, damn. I'm sound like the chicks now.
Damn it.
These guys, look, a lot of these modern guys, man, like I've told Jim this. I'm like, the shocker to me is that like there's guys still trying. And I'm like, and that let me know that like how bad things are, that like how can everything be laid out in front of you, right? And you still just go, no, I'm gonna ice skate up the hill. It's like
it's hope, man. That's what it is. It's hope.
It's like, why are you like this? Like, here's the thing. If you ask me, how do I achieve goal A? And if I see that, like, okay, these are the people that clearly failed, this will fail. I remember watching The Black Phone. I think that was like last year, the year before. I went to go see The Black Phone, and that's one of the key elements of the movie, right? Is that the voices are telling, basically, we didn't make it, right? So here's what you could do. And it's like, the worst thing you can do is to just be like this. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Because, he said, he's getting ready to leave, and he goes, don't do it. He goes, if you leave now, he's waiting for you. It's a trick, right? If someone tells you it's a trick, you're like, okay, and this person's telling me the truth, let me go find another route. What I'm seeing more out of society is that like people keep buying into the racist talk. They keep buying it. Like, I'm hearing more and more white guys blaming this person. I'm hearing more and more black guys blaming this. I'm like, how can you keep defaulting to this? Like, how is this your default setting? And you should realize, I told my daughter this, most people are just losers. This Wisconsin shooter, do you notice the whole thing? Did you guys notice the manifesto? It's a loser mentality.
Yeah.
There's no accountability.
I'm a victim.
I'm a victim.
You were able to
it's
get
everybody else's fault except me.
Everything,
Yeah, Jim had it up earlier before. Narcissism.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure that this is
the revolution.
Well, the Google Doc was shut down. It was set private, and I don't know if Google did it or if they just fucked it up.
Yeah, I think they fucked it up. I think they fucked it up.
Leave it to a woman to not know how to use the internet.
The N word.
If it ain't spelling asshole pictures, they can't fucking figure it out. Jesus.
That N
How
word
old
though.
girl? 17. Right.
15 or 17. This thing I'm seeing two different numbers. I'm seeing that
I saw
they were
15.
non-binary.
15.
That
their friend on Twitter
they changed their name to Sam.
Yeah, their friend on Twitter.
I don't
said
know,
they were
man.
Non-binary.
So a crazy person shot someone. I mean,
yeah,
shocker.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew.
But this is all they do. Like, okay, so this was crazy. I didn't even see this long version. You have to send me this longer version, Jim. I saw a shorter version. The talk, right? A lot of things that she's saying, and she's bashing. There's a lot of man bashing and black bashing. This,
yeah, I understand.
I found out she had a boyfriend.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense.
And I'm like,
it doesn't make
that doesn't.
This might not be real.
It's always
that doesn't make sense because do you guys remember when Elliot Rodger crashed out?
Yeah,
he was an incel, right?
Yeah,
but here's the
Supreme
thing,
gentleman. Yeah,
Elliot Rodger is what happens when beta males go unchecked. Loser beta males, right?
Yeah,
the violent streak is always there because remember, you can nullify males as much as you want. You can try to like nerf their masculinity, but certain aspects of being a man, which is your male aggression, things like that, it's always there. You can try to chemically castrate someone. It's always there, right?
You're always gonna have you're always gonna keep your monkey brain.
Yeah. It's always gonna be there. So like you can do whatever you want to Elliot Rodger. When Elliot Rodger hits a certain age, even though he's a little half Asian beta male who somehow hates Asians, that's ridiculous. So you're half Asian, but you hate Asians.
He's a self-hating agent. I didn't do that.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing. And like, but here's the thing though, he didn't have a girl. His roommates had a girl. He saw guys on campus who had girls. So all of his hatred was aimed at who? The guys who had what he coveted, right?
Yeah. And he wasn't a bad-looking dude.
He's not a bad-looking dude. It's the personality.
Troll.
But Andy, no, he's saying that the person isn't trans.
I don't think so. I think they just
their friend said that they were non-binary.
Yeah, that he's the first to report the deceased mass shooter at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. A 15-year-old girl named Natalie Lynn Rupnow. A teacher and student were killed. 6 others were wounded, 2 with life-threatening injuries. The female shooter died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. She carried out the mass shooting in a school library, according to a source. She did not identify as trans. The teen girl used the name Sam online and username Crossixer. She had an extensive online obsession with school shooters and death, particularly the 99 Columbine school shooting. She's a big fan of the KMFDM rock band.
That's industrial.
Which was also referenced by one of the Columbine shooters. And she often wore the shirt of the band, and her online friends identified the X account, which reportedly belonged to
one of the things that people forget about the Columbine shooters is that one of the shooters had a T-shirt that said "Natural Selection."
But I don't know. And
But
then there was
the basic premise of these people, it's always the same, right? Like one of the main reasons why these kind of people always take their own life is that, you remember what we were saying earlier about the Lily Phillips thing? That's the real danger. When you start glorifying this shit, that every time someone goes, "Oh my God, isn't this terrible, Julio? Isn't this a great tragedy?" There's always someone out there being like, "That's amazing. I want to do better." You see what I'm saying?
I told Ruby this today. I said, we need to start fucking making fun of every one of these losers that do it. So every kid goes, "Oh, fuck, if I do that, I'm going to be ridiculed to death by everybody online. My message isn't going to get out there, and everybody's going to call me a fucking loser." Bully.
Yeah, it's called what a loser looks like. You have to make bullying great again, man.
Bully these fucking people. Bully them into the fucking ground. This bitch is a fucking loser who hated herself because of her own fucking faults. It's her. Get the fuck over.
Parents,
grow up.
And parents, you need to be your kid's first bully.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah. You're not special. You're not this little delicate angel. No, you're a fuck up.
y'all seen the meme?
Oh, like I saw on Twitter. Oh, like I saw on Twitter. You know, where it's an image of like these two parents. Like, like these are
Yeah,
drawings.
I know what you're talking about. With the kid with like butterfly wings.
Yeah.
And the
Stop
dad
being a
cuts the
faggot,
wings
son.
off and says, "Stop being a faggot." Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, parents do have
this
to
girl
know.
actually has the same issue as Elliot Roderick. It's like she's not a bad girl. She's like an average teenager, right?
If she, if she took a, done
Took
her
a
hair,
shower and
makeup,
worked on her femininity. Okay, in the same way that Elliot Roderick could have worked on his masculinity, this girl could have worked on her femininity, had a good boyfriend. Because look, I'm sure everyone on this panel has met a man-hating feminist, right? Everyone's met one.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had that moment where the man-hating feminist can't find a fault in you? Like she hates men. She go, I hate men. And then she gets to this weird point where she's like, I don't have a problem with you, or I hate black people. I hate white people. And then like they have this weird moment where it hits them. It's like, so because when you ask them, so you're saying anyone from your group has done no wrong. So you're saying women do no wrong. They're kind of like, I mean, ask any female who teases girls about their looks more, boys or girls? Girls.
Fucking women. All day
I'm
long.
like, you can't put that on dudes. And then as you start to break them down, they're kind of like, oh shit, I've been indoctrinated. Like,
I've never looked at a woman unless it was just joking around with somebody that knew I was joking, by the way, and fucked with a woman about her looks. It's always like, you look pretty today, or I like
that's
whatever.
Some gay shit, though.
I'm like,
do what?
That's some gay shit, though. That's some gay shit, though.
Yeah, like you just don't criticize women, man. Like I just don't go around doing it. Like,
Here's what it means: if a woman tells you I hate men, but you're perfect, that isn't them hating men. It's them being narcissistic and saying all other women made bad choices except for me.
Yeah,
right.
It's about them.
Everything's about they'll take their best
yes,
friend.
Drex, you're right. It's about them always.
It's always them. Because think about it. If you even
since
have
the beginning of fucking time, it's never
if you
changed.
had 1% empathy, you would think to yourself, me shooting up a bunch of people in school is bad for their families, right? Like if I hate the world so much, right?
They don't care.
I mean, look, even Timothy McVeigh, right? I use him because I think he's a great example. If Timothy McVeigh had a beef with government, he went to a government building. You see what I'm saying? Do you remember what his one regret was? He didn't know there was a daycare there. You see what I'm saying? He didn't know that. He's like, oh, that wasn't my intention. My intention was to go after a government worker. You see what I'm saying?
No women and children, like Scarface. No women and children.
Yeah, dude. Like
no women and children. I told
like dudes can do savage stuff and still have a certain pause. Like hell, Griselda Blanco told the hitman to delete the babies.
Yeah,
and the hitman was like, "Yeah, I'm not here to delete babies."
What do you think happened to the guy that was in the car with McVeigh? The guy
that dude.
That just disappeared. That there's no like. I think McVeigh was set up by the government.
But
could have been.
No, I think that they thought like this was a thing, basically like they do when they give people fake bombs and shit.
Yep.
And that he just basically it got away from him. You know, like
hey, who is this guy? Who is McVeigh?
You never heard of
McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bombing?
1993 Oklahoma City.
That fuck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a guy. They had pictures and like drawings.
Wait,
and everything.
wait, hold on. Look him up, Jim. Did he serve time? No one ever remembers what happened to that dude.
There's a guy that was like the guy that got arrested with him was not at the scene. He was a guy that helped them assemble the bomb and stuff.
Yeah,
was
I remember that.
I want to say Richards, Terry Nichols.
Okay.
But there was another guy that there was witnesses and all these people that saw another guy get out of the truck, and that was like a. But they just.
So, are you saying you think McVeigh could have been like an MK Ultra, a plant, because he was a military guy?
Like McVeigh claims, and his sister claims that he was working for the government, and they had him when he got out of the army. That they see like he was working for the government, and they had him doing these ops and stuff, and it got out of hand, and the truck wasn't supposed to blow up, or I don't know. I'm not saying that's true, but
I gotta look into it.
I think that just like everything else, you know, like the whole shit with the Whitner kidnapping was the feds. You know, there's feds involved in January 6th. There's always feds involved. You know, there was several cases like that. There was a first bombing of the World Trade Center where they gave the people shit but it didn't work. And there's tons of them where they'll give the people stuff and then they go, "Oh, you tried to blow it up even though it wouldn't work." I think it's possible that happened, and they were like wanting to set them up, and they either figured it out and they got the real shit and did it.
I think that's what they're trying to do with these drones.
It's possible. And speaking of drones,
but
nice
real quickly, Andrew. Perfect.
But real quickly, like when you showed the manifesto, and I just skimmed through it.
I wasn't going to read it because there was a lot of shit there that I won't say.
But
it's not going to come out of my mouth.
Oh yeah, but like in generalization,
words.
Like in generalization, like the whole thing was, I hate humanity and I can't bend them to my will, so I might as well just destroy them.
Yeah, but it didn't make sense. She supposedly had a boyfriend or someone was saying it was his wife or husband. I don't know. There's like weird stuff.
It's almost. It's almost like she's crazy. It's almost like Elegy Rogers was crazy. They're fucking crazy. It might be as simple as that. They're fucking gays in the head.
Well, yeah, but
and they do this shit.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that, like,
was Ted Kaczynski crazy?
Like what I'm seeing is,
I read some of his works. I didn't think he was that crazy, but I don't know.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that
he was MK Ultra.
What I'm trying to say,
Ted Kaczynski wasn't crazy. He was just
he was, but it's documented. He was MK Ultra by the government.
Yeah,
that
doesn't make him crazy.
No, I'm just saying he was.
You can make the trains run on time and still be crazy. You don't have to take every. You know what I mean?
But what
I'm sorry, Andrew.
But what I'm trying to say is that all this has a similar pattern, that the left is losing control, so they rather just destroy, rather than try to keep hold of that control.
There's so many conspiracies with this drones. Like, it's okay, the government is actually the reason they're saying don't worry about it, and it's nothing to worry about, is because it's the government doing it, and they're looking for something.
January 6th happens. Execute Order 66.
Yeah, I would be more worried of it being on Inauguration Day when there's all these people there for Trump to get sworn in. Something happens, and then
Execute Order 66.
They get wiped out, and then who's left to run the government?
Vince.
Janet Yellen.
No, Vance is going to be there.
Yeah.
At the inauguration.
My boy Ramaswamy. Everybody
be there. The only people that aren't going to show up is Kamala, AOC, and that Jasmine Crockett. They're the only three people so far that publicly said they're not going to be there. Maybe Pelosi won't be there because she just broke a hip.
Or so she says.
Yeah, or so she says. Maybe it's all a thing, I mean, they're Biden. They don't care if Biden
didn't break her hip. So
no.
Damn.
No.
With a hammer, maybe. Use that same hammer.
See, that's another one that's weird. That whole thing with Pelosi's husband is like,
Jim, you're not gonna fucking sit there and tell me you ain't never had a naked hammer party with your buddies in San Francisco.
I never had a naked hammer party.
I've never done that. None of y'all know. That's just me, huh?
I'm gonna name my next band that. That's a good band name.
Naked Hammer Party. Jim, but I do think that there's going to be a lot of things kind of coming out over the next year, especially once Trump is in office.
If we make it past January 20th,
that's what I said. If he makes it, if he makes it.
Well, the thing
they tried 3 times.
The thing is, I actually believe. I think they're trying to start World War III. Before he gets into office, so it'll be like, oh, look at this, everybody. It's World War III, and it's under, when it's under Trump's administration, this is his fault.
Yeah, I mean, they believe.
Yeah, but the problem
people believe that if something happens, that if they just say, oh, it was Iran, or oh, it was Russia, that everyone's just going to go, oh, but no, man, we see what you're doing.
Yeah.
The problem is with them doing.
We're not watching your mouth. We're watching your hands.
Run again. So who gives a fuck if it's under Trump's administration? Who gives a shit?
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck, and we don't
They're
have
mad.
anybody to.
They're mad.
Yeah, they're all mad because their plan didn't work, man. These people, I don't know. the politicians aren't the problem. It's the people who are funding these fucking politicians. It's the people who are sitting there going, hey, I put you into power. Now you've got to make this fucking deal for me. Put that shit in that bill and get that to me now. It's those people that we never fucking hear about. It's these CEOs and all these people who are taking advantage of these fucking systems. Look at Walmart, the way they pay their employees so they can fucking suck the government dry and take your tax dollars because they don't want to pay a fair fucking wage. It's insane to me, man. It blows my mind.
But like I feel like the deep state is becoming like Ratigan from from the Great Mouse Detective, where like he's just had enough, and it's just going feral.
Yeah,
the deep state is terrified. I mean, they're fucking losing their shit right now because they're afraid of all these records coming out. They're afraid of Musk going in there and cutting fucking all these redundant fucking jobs that don't need to be. All this stupid shit that we spend money on,
like Malay in Chile.
Exactly.
Or is Argentina? He like cleaned up the entire fucking government and the budget in 1 year.
Yeah, I literally saw one time.
El Salvador, right?
No, he's in. I want to say Argentina. Is that his name?
No, you're thinking Malay.
Malay, yeah.
Malay, but then there's that other guy, Bukele.
I've heard of him.
El Salvador. He went and said, "Oh, anybody involved in any gangs, you're under arrest."
Yeah. That prison shit was over.
Yeah. And that's
all the violence and stuff.
The violence is over. They're just all locked up. People are like, "What? You can't do this?" Like, well, yeah, you can. Actually,
you can.
You don't have a constitution. You could just say, "Well, we're going to lock up all the criminals."
I mean, I've literally seen where we have earmarked money and sent to transgender studies to an African country. I forget which country it is now, but we literally sent
the UN is one giant front for feminism and transgenderism and all the bullshit. That's why they traffic people all over the world. The government is the U.S. government is the #1 child traffickers.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
Shout out to my girl Sally for constantly harping on that shit. Love her, by the way. Another fellow Utahn. But no, it's it goes so much deeper, and of course, it'd be great to like sit down and like really piece it together. But what bothers me most is that so many people, you can show them everything, the whole thing, right? Every link in the chain.
Yeah.
And you have the convictions, you have the investigations, you have all the, you have the smoking gun. Your average person will either not care or not believe. And that's the source of the problem. It's one of those two things, right?
Well, the people not
denial
caring,
or apathy.
I think the apathy comes from literally having to break your back for pennies on the dollar, right?
Yeah.
I think people have been beat down so much. A guy I used to chop trees for, he retired from IBM, and he said that the rule for IBM was the CEO could not make any more than I forget the number. It was like 100 or 1,000 times more than the lowest paid man in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it nowadays. The lowest paid man in the company is making minimum wage while these CEOs are making billions of fucking dollars and just fucking around on yachts. And then they fuck off and go to some other company and get that same sweetheart deal. And when you're that guy making $7
people for fucking around on yachts, okay?
Damn.
You feel personally attacked. My bad, Jim.
Yeah,
that wasn't directed towards you,
personally.
buddy. I'm so sorry. I'll fill up a tank for your boat next time you go out in the Gulf to make up for it. But no, my point is, right, when you got these people that are only making that $7 an hour and they're doing their best, they are trying hard, they are going to work, they don't give a fuck about what's going on with anybody else.
Agreed. Well, I mean, you guys remember that old saying, right? About owning nothing and you'll be happy, right? You own nothing and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
And do you know what people believe is happiness? They truly believe it.
What's that?
Social media clout. That's their happiness. Disney Plus, Netflix, like the distraction. The distraction is their quote unquote happiness.
Yeah, it's bread and circuses.
It's the bread and circus. Because think about it. Think about how much money it costs. If it would have cost, the Commodus Caesars of the world. Imagine how much investment it costs to, constantly produce a product that the masses want to see, right? Nowadays, they pump that into shit like Rings of Power at Amazon that cost what $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at what the kind of programming. Everything is girl boss. None of this shit's believable.
Like the most recent Lord of the Rings anime movie that just came out.
Yeah.
Guess what it's got? A girl boss. Well,
black lesbian
something.
She's a redhead finally though. They didn't do ginger side this time. Yeah, shocked.
Kind of, but they get like a different character to be the girl boss, and it was just as obnoxious.
That's ridiculous.
Jim's pulling up the chans. Look at this.
Oh shit! I do gotta run because I do have to get up in. Is that 5 hours? 6 hours? 5:45. So 6 hours and 13 minutes. So yeah, thanks for having me though, Jim. But yeah, R.I.P. to our man Legal Vices, and I'll definitely come back.
It's great. Your boy texted, said to tell you hi. So
oh yeah, it's Nick Recada's birthday today.
It is his birthday.
Hell yeah! Happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
How that boy doing, by the way?
He's gonna need a lot of well wishes because I think he's got another.
Don't be partying too much for your birthday, brother. Calm down now.
I'm gonna pour out a bullet.
No lie, I do keep Nick in my prayers though. Like for real, I genuinely like Nick. Just saying, no homo.
No, I agree with you.
He's got to get his shit together. When he does, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
exactly. It'll be all right.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
We all need
to
get our shit together sometimes.
Drex got to get you on CG Church, man. We got to put that Holy Spirit of God in you.
Jim, you know the rules. Don't invite people, especially couples, into your house.
Oh, you don't do that. No.
Yeah, never do that, man. Like literally, like words of advice. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't invite anybody into your marriage. Period.
Yeah, nobody
in it. Nobody.
I mean, I've sent Jim some things. Jim knows what things I have to see on a daily basis, man. I'm gonna let you guys know something right now, man. That the cuck shit's getting out of control. I keep Jim updated as best I can about how bad things. Like when I tell you guys, society is done. People don't know how deep the cuck well goes. Jim, it is the future. Poly relationships are the future. I promise you, it is, man. The poly thing is the future.
Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah. Did you see the fucking robots though? The sex bots.
Oh, that's coming.
You see that shit? Your fucking premonition is coming to true.
I told people, man. They're gonna automate all of that. Like all of that shit's gonna be automated. You guys remember in Demolition Man when Stallone wanted to smash Sandra Bullock, and they put on the damn like VR helmets? Like, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah,
we're almost there now.
Yeah.
What is think about it? What is OnlyFans?
AI girlfriend.
Social relationships. It's an AI girlfriend, basically. You're talking to a dude who's texting you. Now the Chat GPT. Yeah. Right? You're not
90% of them are just some dude in India.
Mm-hmm. Dude, so think about it. You have this relationship with a woman. The movie Her detailed that.
Money to doesn't love me. I send her $59.99 a month.
It's so pathetic.
Did she tell you to do the needful?
But
she said
Jim,
she loves me.
If none of those guys were there for Lily Phillips, it couldn't have happened, though, right?
Right, but I think the market's getting oversaturated, though.
It's oversaturated. Like so now, I mean, your average OnlyFans girl only makes $183 a month.
Yeah,
so that's why I think it's going to swing the other direction. So you're going to have
how much?
All these born again.
183. Now, Julio. Here's the thing, though. Do you know what's going to be the new thing? And you're seeing this in places like Greece and anywhere where there's austerity. What you're going to see next is going to be the most predictable thing in the world because you're seeing that here. Rather than OnlyFans, because that's not paying the bills, girls are going to start offering landlords the box, and they're just going to start selling their own OnlyFans as sex workers, not teasing.
I've already seen that. No. Yep. I've already seen. I swear to God, there's a girl I know personally that does OnlyFans, and she was trying to get breast implants, and she sent me a DM on Instagram and said,
it's going to go personal."
Hey, she said, "If you pay for these breast implants, I'll let you hit." And I went,
"Oh yeah,
no. What are you talking about?"
What the fuck is wrong with you, Cynic? You just passed up with some pussy.
They're not real.
You're gonna spend $5,000
I don't
to get
need
some
to
pussy?
buy it, bro.
You know, that's what I'm. I don't know.
That's
I got some money freeing up soon, Cynic.
I've been doing
I'll send you her Instagram page.
But Cynic, do the math, right? Do the math. Yeah. If you're one of these chicks, if you're one of these used up thoughts who have no skills, no values, no nothing, you have no man, and how are you going to support yourself? Okay, let's do the math. If you can sell box to, let's say, 5 dudes a month, like the subscription is going to just be direct prostitution.
Yeah.
So now a guy goes, I see my regular, let's say once a week, right?
Yeah.
Once a week. And he pays, let's say he pays $200, but she's going to schedule them, right? She'll schedule those guys to say that they're not, all in the same day. She'll go, this is my guy I meet on Monday. Because they do that with foodie calls, right?
Yeah.
Julio, do you know that most women can't even afford to eat? Have you ever been in most women's place, their apartment or house? Open the fridge. What do you see, Jim? Nothing. Julio, hand to God.
You see some
my daughter comes here, she opens the fridge,
baking soda,
food. I can go to a girl's place right now. Look, Jim, I'm gonna put this shit to the test. The next 5 girls' place that I go over, I'm just gonna I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I just need the bathroom real quick, or I need to put something, whatever. I'm going to open the fridge and snap a picture and send it to you. Right. I guarantee, dude, I'm not joking. Julio, I don't remember the last time I went to a girl's house and she had food. I'm not joking. Nothing. Look, I'll tell you what was in there. Alcohol and condiments.
That's it.
And how many of them can't cook?
They can't cook.
All of them.
They have no food.
All of them.
So
Julio,
one of them. How are they going to survive? Look, if the cost of living is going up another 80% over the next 5-10 years, right?
Yeah.
Groceries are going to go. So how are they going to live?
Yeah.
Well, they got a slang box.
The same way they've always been living throughout history.
Throughout history.
Y'all were missing about my story.
They call it the oldest profession for a reason.
Yeah. Good for them.
Y'all guys think I was the only person she sent that fucking DM to?
No, bro.
She's casting a line, man.
You know what I mean?
As many dudes as possible to.
She fishing.
So Cynic, what she just did is no different than Lily Phillips. Yeah. Lily Phillips did not DM 100 guys to smash. Julio, she may have DM'd 10,000 dudes to smash.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Of that 10,000, this 100 said yes. She won.
Yeah.
For what her goal is, that's no different than saying, I need my rent paid. I need my bills paid. If I ask 100 guys and only 10 dudes respond saying, yeah, well, I'll smash you twice. Because here's the thing, you have to think about it from their perspective. Your average dude spends more taking some random girl who's not into him on dates, dinners, movies, sporting events. The amount that hit his financial investment, i.e., waste, is like what, $300 to $500, and maybe he smashes. So a guy goes, wait a minute, so I can pay you directly, and this is your rate for oral, anal,
everything.
This is your rate vaginal. How long?
And I don't have to talk to you. I could just.
I have to talk to you.
I'm done.
Yeah,
and I get to choose what you're going to wear. Bet. I'm in.
That's like Ruby said about the robots. I'm like, well, that.
I don't have to pretend to like you.
Never having to watch any episodes of Sex in the City.
None of that shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jim. Who can forget about that, right? All the things that guys don't like to do, which is listen to their bullshit and watch the shit they like to watch, right? No more Real Housewives. Look, this is no bullshit. Cynic. I want you to imagine your average dude, right?
Yeah.
He pays a monthly subscription, and he shows up every Wednesday at 2 p.m. and just walks. He knows what she's gonna wear, right? She goes, she goes, she sends in the DM. Ding. Yep, she's in that. That's what I wanted her in this week. He shows up, he cash apps her the money. Yeah. You know the time limit.
Yeah.
Both sides are incentivized to keep this arrangement going because if she starts fucking up, he can give her a bad review or she doesn't get the money.
Yeah.
He has to keep giving the money. So both sides get what they want. It's purely transactional.
Yeah.
Dating, relationships, marriage, that's over. Those days are done.
Yeah.
Purely transactional.
It's already starting. It's already starting.
It's over.
I mean, it's already started. You have chicks on Facebook promoting this shit where Facebook used to, if you promoted anything like that, your family would see it and you would be fucking done for, man. I'll give you guys a hint.
Any dating app now, they promote their spicy content.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is for the link tree, right?
It's the link tree. Yep.
If you
100%
if you find
transactional.
a girl that you actually do like, take that bitch to Wendy's. Take her to Wendy's. First date.
Yeah, take her ass on a walk. If she's black, take her in the pool to make sure her fucking hair is real.
I take every one of them. I swear to God. I either say you can meet me at the gym or you can meet me at Wendy's.
I took my girl to fucking Raising Cane's, man. So
if they turn their fucking nose
That's
up
what we
at
like
it,
to hear.
if
Give
they
her ass
turn
some
their
greasy
fucking
ass
nose
chicken
at
fingers.
it, you kick them the fuck out and you don't worry about it because
right.
you're going to be eating a lot more Wendy's than what you are fucking Roost Chris or anything else.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Yeah. That
if you
5-star
can't fucking
treatment, those days are done. Oh shit, yeah,
Yeah.
but it is getting later. But yeah, I do got to roll though. But peace out. Thanks for having me, y'all. I'll definitely be back. Much appreciated. R.I.P. Jeff. Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Nice to
really
meet all of
nice
you
to
guys.
meet you, man.
Always a pleasure, man. Have a good night, y'all.
I always smile when I get the text from you, Drex. So
Always, man. Peace out, Jim. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, I'm the only black guy here.
Yeah, the
no, you're not.
but-
Julio's here.
but
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
I'm Italian. That's close.
But
Yeah, in my eyes.
as a as a 35-year-old still single guy, but yeah, the dating pool is just
Yeah,
horrific.
if Drex leaves and I lose 10 fucking people watching, what the fuck?
Yeah, the
Please,
problem
put
is
him in the pocket and take him with him.
Yeah, the problem is, Andrew, like my dad asked me recently, he said, "Hey man, why aren't you serious about dating any of these women that you bring over?" Right? And I tell him straight up, they're all whores. I'm not gonna buy that cow when I can get that milk for free. It's just not gonna fucking happen.
I have a very different problem. Like I can't even get a girl to meet with me. That's my problem.
No, you're not the only one, man.
The only thing I can tell you to do that is you have to raise your stock, right? So you already got a good job. You're a welder. So what else do you need to work on? Right? Like what else do you need to work on? Fitness? Is it personality things? Is it
I don't know.
like is it style? It's something like that. And I'll tell you this, I almost exclusively wear shit from Walmart or damn Tractor Supply nowadays when I go out. I go buy a plain fucking comfy ass t-shirt. Now my shoes are usually pretty expensive because I'm a shoe whore. But other than that, man, I dress in jeans.
The fanciest.
It's the shoe game, Cynic. It's your shoe game. Girls look at feet first.
Like the fanciest thing I wear is like a Superman t-shirt and jeans. That's it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like I don't wear anything with any fucking emblems on it. Unless it's something like Ruby saw me last night. I had a gym shirt on, and that gym gave me that shirt for free. I'm not gonna be a fucking billboard for somebody, Superman or whoever. So I wear like
you're putting too much thought into it. If you're like, I'm old and chubby now. I can lose 25 pounds. Kind of need to. Wasn't always like that. I was a handsome motherfucker. I could wear whatever the fuck I wanted.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I wear Walmart
knew if
t-shirts
I
and
asked
shit.
a girl to hook up or whatever, it was a done deal. It's confidence.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting to. Like I exclusively wear like plain ass, like gray, blue, whatever Walmart t-shirts that fit good, right? I don't wear anything fucking expensive except for my shoes, and that's because I like them. It's got nothing to do with like I think the bitches will like them. So that's why I'm trying to tell Andrew, get stuff that fits nice. You don't have to be like the most expensive or fancy or anything like that, man. Raise your own personal stock. And if you're still striking out, just work on you, stack that fucking money.
Yep. Facts. And be funny.
Well,
be funny.
Funny helps.
My dad told me years ago,
I always lean on trying to be funny. Always try to make the girl laugh. That's how I got my girl.
My dad told me years
ago. You're a short
ago.
guy, Ruby, like me, so you got to have other attributes.
Yeah, I have to, man.
Blue eyes helped. I mean, that kind of.
Now,
my dad told me years ago, if you can make a girl laugh, you're 90% of the way into her pants.
That's true. Feel good.
Like I have a female friend, who I'm very close to, and
very close.
and we're kind of talking into being in like a relationship.
Yeah.
Like I knew her from from college. She's up in Texas right now. And and we're like the best of friends. And I always thought that like if I ever were to find someone else, then I would have to lose her. And I just did not want that.
Oh, well, you might as well not even worry about that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But
you fucking she ain't gotta know who you're tapping.
Yeah.
But
fuck that. I wouldn't tell her shit.
But like
you don't gotta know.
she's also an artist.
Oh yeah.
So we have that in common. We have very similar interests, and all that. So so once we get that figured out, I figured, I might as well like go with her.
Yeah.
I think having things in common is a bonus, but not necessary with the girl. Like if I want to talk about politics, I'm going
to talk to a man. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or sports or whatever. It's good if you like to see the same movies, date kind of stuff. That's fine. But
I was always very suspicious of girls who were into sports and politics. I always thought they were up.
That's fair. No, why is that, Jim? I think I get where you're going from.
Because it's like, well, why are you, why are you like, or a girl that has a bunch of guy friends?
Yeah.
What's suspect behavior?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's like, okay, girls might have guy friends, but guys don't have girlfriends. They have girls they want to fuck, or girls that they used to fuck, or girls that they plan on fucking.
Yep.
That's just facts. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like I know, like she does not have any other guy friends. And I don't have any other female friends. Aside from her.
Well, I'd escalate that shit, Andrew. Get to the point. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested in you. We have the same interests.
Yeah.
Like to take the next step. Or well, don't be all that like milady with the fedora, but I mean,
don't do that.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
No,
but the problem is like the long distance thing. It's really involved. I don't want to get too into it. But it's the whole distance thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't do long distance.
Just pull your wiener out on a FaceTime and just be like, "Sup?"
Right.
Oh, we Zoom.
Yeah, I bet you got a big one too, so you still like that.
Yeah, next time you Zoom, pull it out and go, "Hey, it ain't gonna suck itself, honey."
You can do a helicopter,
Slap it right there on your camera. I'll tell you truthfully, Andrew, like don't go that far with it, but being upfront with how you fucking feel is the best fucking policy, because you either know. And matter of fact, my wife turned me down when I first asked her out. I was like, "Hey, girl, I want to clap them cheeks." And it was a month later, she called me and she was like, "Hey, you still want to go on a date?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I took that bitch to Wendy's.
Yeah. Yeah, being upfront, that's the word.
You're speaking with people who have accumulated at least 4 divorces, so maybe not the best.
Well, look, I can tell you how to get them. My problem is
divorces. Me too.
No, I'm talking about like relationships. I can tell you how to get to relationships, but I get bored, man. Like I start looking at them and going, do I want to do this longer?
That's more of a you problem.
I know that. I'm not
no. What I'm saying is it's a you problem. It's not them. It's you, because you want more from a relationship than what a relationship actually is. It's not there to fulfill you or make you whole.
Yeah.
You get, fuck, man. I ain't Dr. Phil. You get what you put into it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I
I
know what you're
normally
saying,
end up
man.
looking at them and stop putting in the work, right? Like,
You know, and that's not to
normally
say
it's
that
intention.
like, oh, if you just do this, it's going to work out. No, sometimes the shit
No,
just
no,
ain't
no, no.
work out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's
no,
you got to be
I
able
know.
to learn to recognize that shit and
Yeah.
say, all right, I'm out.
That's what I do. I mean, that's what I do now. Normally, I try to like just sort of slowly stop putting in as much effort. So they go, this ain't working out, and I go, oh yeah, shucks, darn, my bad.
So anyway,
otherwise, I don't
let's
want
talk
my
about
tires
drones.
slashed.
So the
Right.
DHS, FBI, and FAA and DOD put out a joint statement about the response. This is what they say. They say there are more than 1 million drones lawfully registered with the FAA in the United States, and there are thousands of commercial, hobbyists, and law enforcement drones lawfully in the sky on any given day. With the technology landscape evolving, we expect the number to increase over time. FBI has received tips of more than 5,000 reported drone sightings in the last few weeks, with approximately 100 leads generated, and the federal government is supporting state and local officials investigating these reports. Consistent with each of these unique missions and authorities, we are quickly working to prioritize and follow these leads. We have sent advanced detection technology to the region, and we have sent trained visual observers. Having closely examined the technical data and tips from concerned citizens, we assess that the sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and stars mistakenly reported as drones. We have not identified anything anomalous and do not assess the activity to date to present a national security or public safety risk over the civilian airspace in New Jersey and other states in the Northeast. That said, we recognize a concern among many communities, and we will continue to support state and local authorities with advanced detection technology and support of law enforcement. We urge Congress to enact counter UAS legislation. So, see, they want legislation. They want more control. They want more powers. That's what this
Oh,
is.
there you go.
We need Congress to
Bingo.
pass more legislation.
So we can find it and figure it out.
Yeah.
Because right
And
now,
expand
our
existing
hands are
counter drone authorities to identify and mitigate any threats
You're
that
gonna
may
have
emerge.
to. You're gonna have to open it, and you're gonna have to open it in order to find out what's in it.
Yeah. Additionally, there have been a limited number of visual sightings of drones over military facilities in New Jersey and elsewhere, including within restricted airspace. Such sighting near or over DoD installations are not new. DoD takes unauthorized access over its airspace seriously and coordinates closely with federal, state, and local law enforcement authorities as appropriate. Local commanders are actively engaged to ensure there are appropriate detection and mitigation measures in place. So then that means that is not them, right? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying, but that doesn't mean it's true, right?
Yeah. And then there's this. This was posted, the next false flag by Anonymous, 5/23/2022. The next false flag will be centered on the premise of malicious interdiction of nuclear source materials. It will not involve a nuclear device or nuclear detonation, but rather a radiological threat. Nuclear source material will be deliberately leaked to target areas to inflict severe injuries through radiation exposure. The real number of casualties as a result of these attacks will remain very low. The purpose is to create a new method of restricting freedom of movement and new policies that will enable the government to continue its expansion of power. The media will display images of attack survivors who will have burns and lesions across their skin. Videos depicting overwhelmed triage centers with victims vomiting and otherwise unresponsive will be shared on social media. The threat of radiation exposure and invisible enemy will be used as a primary vector. An application modeled after COVID contact tracing will be installed on every mobile device that uses iOS and Android. This application will serve to notify the user about potential hazardous exposure and recommend actions they should take, which include voluntary exposure testing. Additionally, cellular carriers will roll out automated SMS alerts that will have a similar functionality. The application will interface directly with the UICC on mobile devices. If the user does not have this application installed, network connectivity will be prohibited. New policy will grant government agencies further access to metadata and geolocation data on every platform. Included in these policies will be backdoor legislation that bans the use of end encryption. This legislation will be identical in nature to the recently introduced S.3538 EarnIt Act.
Sounds like they're trying to make the next COVID.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they already have that COVID tracking shit on all your phones.
Is this the export, Jim?
Yeah, they do. If you go into your settings, like on your iPhone, there's a whole COVID tracking setup, like app that they had.
Wait, weren't there like a fucking fucking sickness thing going around not too long ago? Like once Trump got into office.
I don't know, but I don't understand because
I read an article about it like back in November.
I just lost 10 fucking people watching after talking about this. That's weird.
Oh, boo-hoo.
No, I had 40 people watching, then Drex left and went to 30. Now it just dropped to 13. That is weird.
Well, yeah, because like those were his fans, coming over, now he's left.
Hey, I'm saying this is a plot by the government. Come on.
Yeah, and Drew, it's not a plot.
Yeah,
Drex is the government.
You don't usually stream on your channel either, Jim. So
no, I know.
You definitely need to start doing this stuff a couple times.
I agree.
I will gladly come over and
buddy,
offer my assistance. You dick. Fucking hate you.
Yeah.
Jim.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, I've got a thing going with Dave. I like to stream with Dave a couple nights a week, and like I figured I would do Sundays on my own.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. We need to keep at least the Sundays thing going.
Oh, so
you could do one and the other. It's not mutually exclusive, right?
I know.
Well,
wait, did Drax agree with me that fucking Eazy-E didn't get his cheeks clapped?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He did agree with you, but he's wrong on that one. Eazy-E.
Well, maybe he's right. I don't know.
Ice Cube.
I thought he got it. I thought the rumor was he got his cheeks clapped by that manager of his.
Yes,
Eazy-E got AIDS. That was a huge thing in the 90s. And everybody called him
got
gay
fucked by his
'cause he had
manager
AIDS.
to keep his deal. That's why he was always with his manager like they were fucking boyfriends.
I don't know.
They didn't put that shit in the movie, did they?
Look it up.
No, in the movie, when he found out that he got AIDS, he's like, "But I'm not gay."
Well, that's not what everybody thought back then.
In the director's cut, there's a scene of this the small hat wearing guy just going to town on him over a record contract on his desk.
Now, you're gonna take this dick, Eazy-E, right now, okay? I'm paying you good money. You're gonna take it.
So
Dan
Jim,
Blackroyd says nobody wants Julio in the divorce. He will split time between Jim and Dave. God damn it, Dave.
I'll
take you in the divorce, buddy. Uncle Cynic's here. What you worried about?
Oh, I was trying to watch that video that you shared, Cynic, but I guess it became members only.
Oh, that
fucking Sturgis?
Yeah, the Tractors Cope and
Oh, this motherfucker.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Motherfucker.
I saw that and I thought it was a big nothing burger. Like I don't think he deserves the e-fapping. Like he doesn't deserve it.
Deserves the e-fapping, Andrew, and then I'm gonna be his best friend.
He doesn't even talk about me.
That motherfucker will apologize to Katie.
Did you guys see this story about this? Remember CNN posted a thing where they freed that prisoner?
I saw that shit. It looked so goddamn staged. It wasn't.
Well,
even
guess
funny.
what? Guess what?
It
No,
was.
he wasn't a prisoner. He was the fucking one of the torturers for the Syrian regime.
Oh shit!
Oh, I
Yeah.
hadn't seen the sun in days.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't eat. I'm so sick. Thank you, Allah. Allah, la, la, la. Fucking.
Yeah.
Allah
Free prisoner who said he was a victim of the Assad regime was an intelligence officer.
Okay.
He worked for the fucking Assad regime.
That stupid bitch. She wanted her fucking moment
Yeah.
in the sun, and she got played.
Yeah.
Well,
And they
congratulations.
kept going.
Complete
Everybody
yourself.
kept going. Well, how? If he's been a prisoner for all these months, how is his beard so groomed? How is
Yeah,
he
how
so
is his nails
clean?
so perfectly
How
trimmed
is
and
his
everything?
jacket
and-
so clean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Jim, what's it called again? A cyber what?
Cyber what?
You said a cyber. You said a cyber pew.
Cyber pew.
Oh, no.
Cyber
Psyop? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say the word because I don't want to get your channel in trouble. A
Then
cyber
why
bank.
even bring? Then why even bring it up?
A cyber
Because it was
banker?
hilarious.
Oh, a
Oh,
cyber
oh.
banker.
A cyber banker. Oh, okay.
Aha, crypto.
A crypto banker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called a crypto banker. Yeah,
Oh,
that's where they do
shit.
the bidding of the
Cleaner beard.
bankers.
Wait. A cleaner beard than Sturgis.
Well,
Says you, Dan.
But speaking of Dave, Jim, like, do you have any updates on that?
I talked to him
Dave?
earlier on the phone.
As far as I know, he said he was feeling a little under the weather, and
update on what?
He didn't want to do the he didn't want to do the Boardwalk Empire show because it's not really like I think we're gonna step away from Boardwalk Empire because it's not really.
It's not
well,
to do it properly. I think you'd have to do a whole season and then like watch a whole season, and then talk about the season because it's basically the season has this like. There's not enough happening in each episode really to make it worth talking about.
Yeah,
but yeah, like when me, Julio, and Jessica were on.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about that. He took the day off.
I don't know anything about it. I wasn't there.
I mean, I heard we shouldn't talk about it.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't have any information about it.
Whatever happened there,
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Oh, like I was not told if we're not allowed to talk about it.
I'm not telling you can't talk about it. I'm just saying I don't know anything. I was not there. I went to bed.
Talk about what? I don't
know what y'all talking about. So
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, Ruby, what were you up to earlier, Ruby? You were on that stream with Cynic, and then
the King stream.
Yeah,
we were just chilling, just shooting the shit,
hanging out, like this stream, hanging out.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
talking shit about me. I'm
yes,
just kidding.
every second of it.
Every day we talk shit about you, Andrew.
Actually, we've said really nice things about you, Andrew. So,
true.
Never heard a bad word. Because I'm
By
a
the way,
good
Andrew,
boy.
did you mail the other issue to King of Justice? Yeah. Did you?
Oh, the intro. I'm on the last page, so that's gonna take a while to finish.
No. I'm saying, did you mail issue 1 to me?
No, I didn't. I'll do that in the morning. I had a second person who also bought the bundle. Yeah, and she lives in Indiana. So you got the 2 issue 2s and she got the 2 issue 1s.
Okay.
Bad shipping and fulfilling.
Now I feel bad. Bad Andrew.
You're gonna have to.
Well, it happens everywhere.
Dad Blackgate says he could recount everything that happened. He took
everything that happened with what?
I don't know. Whatever happened.
It doesn't exist. You have to prove it exists. You need to leave Andrew a bad Google review, Ruby.
I'm not gonna do that to Andrew.
1 star.
Yeah, this Indiana guy mailed me my bundle and gave me 2 fucking issue 2s. I was so pissed. I like the book.
But yeah,
I'm
like
gonna leave a bad review.
But yeah, like she's in like a same like a meetup group. Like I'm part of this meetup group for for like a webcomic makers.
And take her out to McDonald's. Yeah. All right.
Like we hang out at like this distillery where we like just draw and talk. It's kind of like a draw stream, but in person.
Okay. I bet the bartender loves you hanging out in the distillery drawing.
Yeah. And
I bet you have a drink.
Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yes, like when Ruby told me like, hey, hey, I got the comics, but they're both issue 2, and I was like, oh no, so the other person has 2 issue 1s, so I contacted her and saying, hey, when you get the books, like they're both issue 1s, so can you leave one of them in your mailbox, and I'll come pick it up and drop off the issue 2 for you. So I went and did that. So tomorrow morning I'll ship the issue 1 for you, Ruby. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, I gotta duck out too. It's 1 o'clock here.
We're gonna call it a night then. you guys want to hang out for a minute?
It'll work anyway.
Give me 1 second. Let me. Thanks for coming by, everybody. It was great.
No problem.
Do this again
Yeah.
soon.
It was fun.